everybody. Welcome to Eden Fractal, meeting number 56. I hope that you're all doing wonderful out there. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for watching. We are a little bit late today. I had a thing, several things going on, but anyway, we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to give a quick 1-minute presentation, and then we're going to jump into breakout rooms. We're going to do 45-minute breakout rooms to make it shorter. And I am sharing my screen now, so welcome everybody once again. Before the meeting, we're talking about welcome guide at edenfractal.com/welcome, where you can learn some of the stuff about what we're doing here. I did just publish the video. I was working with Rosmari to publish the Eden Fractal 53rd and 54th meetings, so our anniversary meeting, and more will be coming soon, but now you can watch the 53rd meeting, and there's also show notes and an article coming about that, and you can always see that at youtube.com/@edencreators. What we're going to do, well, first we're going to go into the breakout rooms, of course, as we always do, and then we're going to also play Cagendas, where anybody can propose a topic for the agenda today. I believe that there's only been one topic proposed. I think Lisa was trying to, so feel free to let us know if there was a topic you want to discuss. But the topic that I proposed today, okay, cool, was Eden Fractal Pomelo pitch session number 4. So we had one last week, and I put some more details about a 4th Eden Fractal pitch session where everybody can share their Pomelo grants or any sort of speech really related to public goods. And I'll be donating 50 EOS between the top 6 winners of the categories. And the 2 categories are the most fun and most beneficial speeches. We'll be using Slido again, and hope everybody has fun. There's also a page here at edencreators.com/pitches where you can learn more details about all of this stuff, about the grants or about the pitch sessions, and then also past pitch sessions like we had in 42 and week 41 and last week and so forth. But anyway, since we're a bit short on time, I will wrap it up. We're going to go into the Eden plus Fractal breakout rooms now. So hope everybody has an awesome time. If anyone wants to share a quick comment or hello, then feel free. Otherwise, I will start the breakout rooms now. And we're off. Breakout rooms are open, and they'll be ending, I suppose, at the top of the hour. Hello, hello.
Oh, Lisa. Now the real question, are we going to get a 5th or not?
Rosmari is supposed to be in this room, and I suppose that she is in the process.
Oh, you can tell.
Right. Yes, I can tell. I can tell all as the mythical magical host. I had to go deep into the firmament to understand it, though. Just to be clear.
Are you sure you understand?
Yes, and I had to learn karate and also be a master pianist like Tadas as well.
You know, with my the spacecraft I designed that reached the moon, the motto of our organization was, "The sky is not the limit," or it could have been, "The firmament is not the limit."
There we go. The firmament is not the limit. Maybe that's a good marketing slogan for firmament.
Yep.
Well, right. you would kind of want to say that firmament is the best thing, so you would want to say.
It's, I mean, there's a very common expression, "The sky is the limit." And the whole point is, even the sky isn't the limit. We can get to the moon.
All right, so it looks like Rosemary's here. Welcome, Rosemary. Also, Lisa, I just saw, I forgot to mention it, but I just saw you posted it in the chat, Telegram chat, about the Alien World support be refreshed weekly. So I'll wait for that, and we can discuss that in the beginning of the community room. So thank you very much for making that proposal, and sorry that I didn't mention it going into the breakout rooms, but very happy to discuss that.
No problem.
Sounds great. And would anybody like to kick us off and share what they've been doing to help Eden Fractal?
Okay.
You up for it, Lisa?
I created a resources topic in the Telegram group for the stuff we need for our weekly meetings. So yay. And you see, now it's getting a little tricky discerning what is Eden Fractal and what is AW Fractal. Not as hard there, but and what is new fractals. So, and then what is like new business opportunity. So I've been talking to people about offering social games to organizations for their groups, and looking forward to talking with interested parties about how to use all of our resources to provide those solutions. And yeah, basically that's it.
Cool. Sounds good, Lisa. I suppose you could also mention the work that you've been doing with the Ike Council as well, because it seems like that is. I know that you reached out to me about being I believe, social games community manager, and so that seems like a helpful contribution to Eden Fractal, because we love more fractals and more social games and stuff
Last
like
week.
there. What's that?
That was last week, and
Oh,
it's
was it?
not.
Okay. Well,
And Lisa mentioned 4 things that were directly related to fractals. The Ike Council is only remotely connected to the fractal process.
okay.
So
Sure thing. Well, I appreciate the inclusion of social games there. I think that's very important for fractals. But good point,
it
Noam.
is.
And Lisa, if there's anything else you'd like to add, feel free. If not, would you like to nominate somebody to go next?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I do that. Dan, why don't you go ahead? You're next on my list here, if that's one way of selecting.
That does work for me, although I am not very prepared. So if anybody would like to go before me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, right. Let's just torture Dan. Tadas, you're on the other end of the list. How about?
Okay. Yeah, so short update maybe about firmament up to this point, because that's my main contribution this week, I guess. So I currently have a technical proof of concept where I'm able to create firm chains, basically blockchains in firmament. You can create new blocks for them, share them on IPFS, and import a chain someone else created to your own local instance by pasting an IPFS link. I tested this in my own environment between my devices. It currently has some big limitations in terms of speed. Directory structure is not yet it's not yet like I want it to be, because I see potential here for basically IPFS explorers to act as block explorers of firm chains. So it's possible to do that, but I haven't decided yet on a directory structure fully. And there is also no automatic block discovery. So if someone else creates a block on the same firm chain, there is no way for other participants of that firm chain to detect that yet. Yeah, so these are the main issues, and I'm currently working on solving them. Yeah, this week in particular, I'm exploring testing a new IPFS implementation. IPFS, they are currently changing their JavaScript implementation. The new version should they are deprecating the old implementation and doing the new one, and the new one should it seems that it should be able to allow running full IPFS node, well, full, not completely full, but almost full IPFS node in the browser, and that would make a lot of stuff much easier for me. But as I'm testing it, it seems that it's not really robust yet. So I'm currently thinking about I will probably jump back to using the old implementation still for now.
If you want to talk to someone, bounce some ideas off, just call me. I'm very interested.
Okay. Yeah, and I think, well, I also starting to work on a bounty system idea. that Lisa proposed for alien worlds, and I think this can help all the other fractals as well. So that's something
Okay.
to look for in the future. Yes, and that's about all, I think. Noam, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Let's see. I've been thinking about how we can make simpler social games that people can play, things that take a few seconds or a few minutes. So we can have a whole scale, anything from games that take a few seconds and still demonstrate how things work on a blockchain, and build up to games like even Fractal, where every meeting is at least an hour and a half, if not usually two. And another thing I've been doing, if you've seen what I wrote about the alien world fractal, I'm raising up all kinds of questions about how the vote should be going, how the polls should be done, whether people should be paying for the polls or not, and whether the vote should be with respect. I really encourage using quadratic voting with multiple proposals instead of having one proposal a week that just people vote based on their on how much wax or EOS they can bring to the table. And a third thing I've been thinking about how to use fractals to govern some of those smaller games. So if I was saying, let's say we have a game with that it takes only a few seconds to play. All you have to do is vote on something. And then you want to exercise some governance on it. How can we boil down the fractally process to something that only takes a vote or a few seconds, instead that are related to what he just did, instead of having to listen to everybody give a presentation. The presentation, sometimes I know that people did a lot more than they showed in the presentation. So I'm thinking, what are alternative ways that we can do this that don't take as much time and might give even better results? So it's trying to come up with a mechanism that will do that. And I'd like to be able to test those mechanisms without having to have people go through the whole initialization process. So I'm thinking of doing it on a wax, on a test net, wax EOS, one of the test nets, and just let people use the free tokens that they get there to play a quadratic voting game that they do in only a few seconds. So all these things can fit together, and I'm hoping that in a few weeks or two, and maybe with some help from people who know more, I'll be able to actually have some of those games and start playing them. I guess that's it. Dan, are you ready, or should I tag Rosmari next?
I'm ready to go. Up to you, as to whoever you
Okay,
want to.
go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much, Noam, and thank you very much, Lisa and Tadas. Really exciting to hear all the progress, as always, and more so every time. On that note, Noam also mentioned too, I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't know if I've spoken with you. Perhaps we should have a discussion about it at some point soon, maybe later today when we talk about Cignals stuff. But I have lots of notes. I've been calling it Fractal Joy Mobile. I just pulled up 2 pages pretty quickly. And I have much more written about this I can find somewhere, but for some reason it has random things organized there. But I have like just some questions for Tadas and just like general things that I spoke about this with Tadas and Vlad and Rosmari and a few other people over the past weeks, or I've been there this past 2 months or so. But I've been working on like local games that you could play, for example, dancing games or yoga games or singing games that people can play in 5 minutes to get the experience of ranking each other's contributions and try it out and get an account and have fun, really, and get a good first experience. And also doing that with like gift cards, like a Fractal Joy gift card, where people can claim an NFT and maybe claim a bit of EOS or whatever it is. So I've been thinking about that. I don't really have anything like super well organized for like a page for it yet, but I have lots of ideas about it and am planning to productize this in the coming weeks and coming months. I think it'll be really helpful to spread these games more. So I really appreciate I'm thinking about ideas for how to make these games shorter and more accessible for more people. I think that it can open people's eyes about the full potential of what we're doing here. In addition to that, as I shared before, I put together an article, edencareers.com/pitches. I put this together pretty quickly, but I made some nice art. I think this art is pretty cool, inspired by Cignals. I made this last week, actually. And then this week, I proposed the Eden Fractal Pomelo pitch session, or just pitch session, really. I think it makes more sense to just make it the Eden Fractal pitch session a little shorter, and it's more focused on Eden Fractal. And I wrote here, I'm going to be giving 50 EOS for the between the top 6 winners of both categories, which is most fun and beneficial speeches. I'm going to be working with Noam. I think later today we're going to be figuring out how to calculate the signal spreadsheets, because that's still a bit manual, though it's much more automated. But I'll figure out that, and I'll donate the results from, or I'll donate to the winners from last week, rather. And then I also curated a bit more in this article, also from previous articles, like I have an edencareers.com/Pomelo article where I just curated some of the past pitch sessions that we had during week 42 and week 41 and so forth, and we're working on getting the video out for week 55 that we did the pitch session last week. That is the proposal or a topic proposal on consortium. And then another big project that I've been working a lot with Rosmari over this week is I had major issues with video editing for the past few weeks, so I'm quite behind on video editing, but we did manage to get out Eden Fractal 53, which is the anniversary, which happened about 3 weeks ago or so. But there were some technical issues due to some new software that I was using. I can go into details, but it's not all that interesting. But figure out how to do it and figure out how to resolve it so that won't happen in the future. And published this one. Still working on doing clips for it, because I think that we can make clips from all the speeches and the Fractal DJ and everything like that, along with articles. And a lot of that's just in progress, but not complete yet. But you can now watch the full video there, and timestamps and an article will be coming soon. And we're working more on this edencareers.com/anniversary article. Ideally, it would have been out a while ago, but there is lots of good stuff here. Actually, I had to refresh it because it didn't load the changes from last time. But basically, I'm just working on the article to go along with that, to promote it along with the speeches. We're really trying to do a lot between the Cignals game and then these 2 new games and stuff like that. And a big part of it will just be getting more organized and raising more funding to help maximize this, because there are so many amazing speeches and stuff like that. And a big goal is to get the word out so more people can understand what we're doing. On that note, I just wrote a message to promote the Fractal Apple and Eden Town Hall on Pomelo, which is also quite late because it's the last day of the season. And then also sharing a bit of message about what happened with the Eden Creators Pomelo grant. It was not approved this season due to a misunderstanding of the Pomelo team. They think that what we're doing is not gaming. So I had a long exchange with them last week where you can see some posts and pitches. So I'm going to be promoting that, help get the word about social games that we're playing with Eden Fractal. Another thing too, I had a conversation with Tadas and Vlad this week about several different things, but one of them was about the mission of Eden Fractal. And I'm working on a plan to propose that we use the Cignals game to find out a mission. And then Tadas had shared a very interesting idea. And also I spoke with Rosmari, she shared a similar idea too, about having like breakout rooms for discussing that. It reminded me of, by the way, I have an article at edencareers.com/fractal forums where I also wrote about this, but basically where we can use breakout rooms to figure out things like mission and so forth. And I'm seeing now that we could use telos. If people aren't familiar with telos, it means the ultimate purpose of something in addition to being a blockchain. And something I may be proposing like a telos session where we have kind of like a meeting, kind of like how Tadas explained. We can go in more detail later. It might not make sense if I'm just explaining it here, but there's lots of details here about how we can use breakout rooms to come to consensus about things other than just ranking each other's contributions, but ranking perhaps the best mission or the best telos. So I'm thinking about how to best define a mission and our telos for Eden Fractal, and we'll share more details about that. Wrote a bunch of notes about it this week. And then in addition, I also hosted the Alien Worlds Fractal, made some music for it, and continuing to refine the process, working with Vlad on that. I've also been working a lot with Vlad on deploying the Eden Fractal software on the Eden Creators account and learning how to do it on, say, for example, music.fractal and other accounts so that I can start many more fractals and lots more games. So been going back and forth with Vlad for a while about that. And then also I participated and am supporting the aquadac. I've been helping Douglas Gudasol with the video production there. So that is something that I'm ongoing supporting. And then I've been working with Rosmari on getting more organized with all these things with Notion templates. And I think we had a great meeting yesterday discussing next steps. I think this will help get a lot of this organized and make it easier to scale so that all these things can be done more efficiently and more time effectively and create a much better experience for everybody in the world. That is that. I'm not sure how long that took. My apologies if it went a bit long. But with that, happy to answer any questions, but I will pass it on to Rosmari.
Yeah.
I have like a few items I've been working on which are aligned with what Dan has been working on as well, because we've been working on them together. For example, the just making sure the workflow in Notion is improved and brainstorming on ways we could keep track of tasks and projects. Also, I attended the Alien Worlds meeting on Monday and also helped on promoting it, as well as this meeting. And I made a few music loops for like 3 or so, which could be used as NFTs, as prizes for the anniversary game that we played a few weeks ago. And then also I learned how to edit the videos. Like, for example, I helped with editing the anniversary, and also I edited the Fractal 54 video, so that was nice. And I also attended the aquadac meeting yesterday, where season 2 just begun, and there we're doing the fractal process, where we're scoring each other's progress from level 6 to 1, depending on each of our own individual goals. And for this season, for different seasons there's different themes, and for this season the theme is around connectiveness and being connected. So I invite everyone to join, and so that was a good learning experience as well. And that's it, really. That's it for me.
Excellent. Thank you very
We're
much.
pressed for time, and Lisa has to go, so maybe we should start the Fractalgram.
That sounds good.
Mhm.
Tadas, would you mind starting that for us?
Yes, I just created a group, sharing a link, and just shared in a Zoom chat.
Okay, great. Does anybody have any questions or comments for anybody before we get into consensus? Yeah, no, that's good. I'm in the room, and it looks like we're all in the room. So, Tadas, if you'd like to do the honors of kicking us off with a question.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't capitalize my name.
There we go.
You're undercapitalized.
Well, last time it capitalized my name, even though I didn't try to, and then it created problems when we had to submit things. So
All right.
yeah, Dan, we're waiting for you to vote.
Yep, I just voted.
Okay, we need to Right now, it's Dan and Tadas are leading, and Lisa got 1 vote.
Yeah, I voted for Lisa. I really wasn't sure. I was a little distracted as I was hearing what Tadas said, so my apologies for that. Tadas, would you mind just recapping what you did there? Because
Yeah,
I not really good, but I wasn't totally sure.
yeah. So this week in particular, I'm working on. I'm testing a new IPFS implementation which would make firmament easier for me, but yeah, finding some issues there. So yeah, about that. I wouldn't say not the most productive week compared to my other week. So
If this wasn't
that's
the
why I
recent,
would vote for Dan.
I
it-
feel the same thing about me. Like last week was more productive, even though I did significant things, like in terms of actions, the actual, like the big actions are either coming or last week, right? So I definitely put Dan above me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. Partially, I was still just super impressed, Lisa, with all of your inquiries and so forth. And I love how you also put together that, I don't know if you mentioned it actually, but that like social games are the future link and a Google formula like that. But also that was a lot of stuff that I was impressed by was last week. And I think you did get quite a bit of respect last week. I also just changed my vote to Rosmari too, because I think that what she did was super helpful in terms of learning how to do the video editing. I've been working closely with Rosmari a lot lately, and she's been very dedicated towards publishing great videos as well as all sorts of other promotions and marketing and so forth. And that's really important. Like we're a few weeks behind the videos, and so I appreciate it a lot. And being that Tadas said he didn't have the most productive week, I also didn't have the most productive week either. I mean, I'm working on this a lot, but it's been crazy traveling and stuff like that. So I'm happy to accept the votes if you all want.
You know, productive week means you're doing a few hours a day instead of 8 hours a day, or 8 instead of 15. I mean, come on, I don't see how anyone can compete with you this week, even if it's a slow week for you.
Your slow week is too much for normal people.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's true for both Lisa and Dan.
It's
But
Right.
in a way.
The reason I voted for Tadas is because I think that the work he's doing on the firmament, on making it possible for people to run fractals on the web with
Mhm.
with their own blockchain without having to have other people's blockchain. That's
I agree.
it's so important, and he was discussing so many issues that he'd been thinking about that I think it's very critical that we give him respect for that, because he's one of the pillars. He is the firmament for what we're doing.
Why,
Hey, don't forget
why
I
am
asked
I
him for the
firmament?
update.
That's you, the
I
firmament.
should get some credit for asking him for the update. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so if either Tadas or Rosmari wants to change to Tadas, I would do that. I usually put him first anyway. I was just trying to acknowledge Dan's work because he had so much this week.
I already voted for Tadas.
Yeah, so it's
Oh, the other way. Yeah,
Dan,
so either
please,
Rosmari
Jorge,
and
you
Noam
can-
go to Dan, or Tadas and Dan go to Tadas.
Dan, if you switch to Tadas, Lisa's offered to switch as well.
Okay, I'm happy to switch to Tadas. I have that most respect for Firmament, and also I really appreciate Tadas's insights regarding the mission. And also, Tadas mentioned to this when I met with Tadas and Vlad, we had a very interesting discussion about God as well, and Genesis, which was inspired by you. So I think that's a very interesting thing. It's not just interesting.
Started with that.
What's that, Lisa?
Should have started with that.
What? I should have started with that. Yeah, Tadas is holding it back. Okay, well, yeah, I'm happy to vote for Tadas. So
Uh,
that works.
Is it done?
I have to retract my vote, I think, in order to do that.
Yeah.
There we go. Very good.
Okay. By the way, Dan, Lisa, Tadas, and I have a Bible Genesis Telegram chat, and you're invited to join. Do you want me to invite you to join?
Sure. Yeah, I would like to be. I don't know how much I'll be able to keep up with it and participate in discussions. But
Okay.
I'd love to join. It's very interesting, and I like Tadas. What's that?
It's too much to jump in. I just read it slightly and see that, and glad they're doing it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's like
If
how
free will ever comes up, I'll pop in.
right.
Okay, I think we have consensus on level 5.
All right. It's tricky, really. And Noam, as you were speaking earlier, I was thinking really you deserve the top respect too, because what you're doing is super unique and helpful. So I support that.
Okay, I'm going to retract and we'll have consensus.
Yeah, Rosmari did more than me this week for sure. And did, you know, the new activities, which is a great thing to support. Boom. No,
Boom.
definitely vote Noam for this week for sure over me.
Okay. Although that thing that you did with
When I actually get a nonprofit,
was that?
yeah, but it's a unique. When I actually get a nonprofit, vote for me. But
Right.
just talking about it.
Yo, I think Noam is also. I'm happy that Noam is getting more respect as well because, like you said, he's done a lot. Like he's provided a huge amount of thoughtful feedback for the Alien World fractal, which is awesome, and that also carries over to for all the different fractals. And then I really appreciate the idea about the shorter games too. I think that's a fascinating and very important thing to explore. So thank you very much, Noam.
Okay. Who's running for delegate this week?
I'm gonna check out the spreadsheet and see who is a delegate, as I'm not really sure who's a delegate right now. That's something, by the way, Tadas, before you joined, Noam and I and everyone who was there earlier, we're discussing ways to automate this. I don't know. I'm curious if you're automating like an Eden post facto process with firmament, and we were talking about how, well, just different ways we can do it. Because right now, like I mostly use the spreadsheet that you put together, Tadas, as a way to do this, and I trust you very much, but we need a way to scale it up and make it more trustless and so forth as well for more communities to use it. And right now, this is one of the less trustless and automated parts of our process right now with this Google spreadsheet.
Yes, well, all I'm doing is taking data from blocks.io.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it should be,
Wait, what
could
did
be
you
automated.
Did you say you take data from blocks.io and put it in a spreadsheet?
He does it manually. What we're looking for is a way to do it automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
I was gonna freak out. I need that. I'll pay personally.
Well, Lisa, you might also be interested in
Tadas, do you know of a way to automate it?
Oh, someone please, please.
Well, I mean, all we need here is a front end, which would take the data, would show in a user-friendly way the current delegates from the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's various uses of it. That's one.
So Lisa,
That's the one Dan and I were looking for. Obviously, Lisa, once we get the tools, I'll be able to write a bunch of other things for you as well. But
I'll also perhaps just
we
briefly.
need to figure out who's running so we can vote.
Sure thing, but first I'm just gonna I'll share my screen to show who's running and also just show Lisa because I think that she'll be happy about this. There is the Pinex team, which is the EOS Nation team, is building I think exactly what you're looking for, and I've been looking into this a lot for Eden Fractal and all fractals. There's a video here where you can see how they can import data or export data from the blockchain directly to Google Sheets. And this is called substreams of the graph. I have a whole article that I shared here in the chat about it, so you can look into
I
that.
actually looked at that article and I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Well, I'm happy to discuss it with you if you like, but there's quite a lot of information that's really helpful here.
Need to ask them how to do it.
Okay. You're planning to coordinate a meeting with the Pinex team, and they already reached out, Martin and Stefan and Daniel Keys on the team, and we spoke in the fireside chat a couple weeks ago. And then the current counselors, so looks like I'm a counselor or a delegate, Tadas is a delegate, Rosmari is a delegate. All of us were elected 3 weeks ago, so it's going to be ending this week. And Lisa was elected last week, and Noam was elected 2 weeks ago. So that's where we're at as far as that goes.
So what do I do if I was elected last week and I have to go do a Twitter space live today and I can't stay? What do I do? Do I get someone to fill in for me?
Well, we discussed the potential of people filling in, and I suppose you could do that if you want. I'm pretty sure that's the conclusion that we arrived at, just that if you want to informally do that, then you can.
Can anyone fill in for me?
Also, we don't have any.
Well, yes, I don't think we will pass any, we will try, I don't think we will try to pass any proposals, so.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
not
I'll
a
be
problem.
here. It's just here we'll be on Twitter Spaces instead of the Zoom. If you need to message me. But I was wondering, therefore, who wants to be delegate, who isn't already, who isn't filling in for me.
Yeah, so it seems that all of us are delegates, but for Rosmari, Dan, and me, it's the last week today. We're
Mhm,
still
so-
delegate this week, but it's our last one.
So, do all of you want to run? Because it's also a commitment. You can, I don't want to vote for someone who doesn't want it. So,
I'm happy to run.
oh, okay. Tadas, Rosmari.
I think I would be able to attend next
Okay, good.
during the
And
next weeks, but
you interested too?
I can vote for Dan. That's okay.
What?
I can vote for Dan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks for
Who's running?
yes, I voted for Dan too.
Okay, so let's make it unanimous.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thanks all.
Dan, you can vote for yourself, but we already have consensus.
We did it. Woohoo!
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
So, what else do you need from me in the next 3 minutes?
We need to upload the consensus on the web.
To the
All right.
chain. Yes.
Where do we, okay, so let's say I wanted to do that, which I usually can't, but I happen to maybe be able to do it right now. Where is that link? Can we put that in that group of,
The link, it says here.
See the last message in our group in Telegram. Results can be submitted here. Yeah.
I see. It's every time there. Got it. I see. Okay, okay. So I have to find the Telegram group over on the computer for this moment, which is called EF56. Got it, got it. That's how we know the week.
How we do it.
Continue. Okay, Tadas, Dan, Rosmari, Noam, Lisa. Yay. From the top to the bottom. You got to keep your game up around here week to week.
Oops. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, hope everybody enjoyed it so far. And I think I'd said 45 minutes, but I think they're probably done. So I think we can probably wrap up the room in like 2 minutes or so. And then we'll get back into the breaker rooms. And Lisa, you said you need to leave right at the top of the hour?
Yeah, right now. But quick question, do we get EOS for playing?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because my EOS was going up and I'm like, how am I getting that? Thanks. Hey, that's really handy at a time like this when I have to vote for Pomelo, which is the last day. So everyone please vote if you want to. How many hours do we have left? Do you know on Pomelo?
About 20 or so. And
Ah, fabulous. Okay, good.
so yeah, we're gonna do another pitch session here. People can share their pitches. If you're able to join back, Lisa, then you can feel free. I'm giving
I shall.
videos for the most fun and beneficial speeches about public goods. If you want to give another speech, and then also each week for the support public goods, Eden Fractal gives away 100 EOS. And that EOS gets distributed amongst all the players according to the ranks. So usually, if we have 2 rooms, then the person with level 6 gets about 20 EOS, and so.
Awesome. I gotta run. See you later. Love y'all. Bye.
Love you too, Lisa. See you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Hello. Good to see you, Patrick. Good to see you.
yeah, I was in the room with Vlad at the last minute.
Yep.
So I have not even make any contribution. I was to the bottom as always. That's okay.
Okay, well, happy you're able to join and get some respect.
Yeah, I give always respect.
Being given. There we go. Absolutely. Cool. Well, yeah, I think everybody is back here and now. So hope everybody had an awesome time in their breakout rooms. And we have a couple items on the agenda that we can jump into now. If anybody has any thoughts or comments you want to share real quick first, then feel free. Otherwise, I can start sharing my screen and we can
Let's
get
go.
the Cagendas game. Okay, awesome. Let's do it. I'm also trying to figure out how to share
Let's
this.
go.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, so as a little recap on where we're at right now, Eden Fractal meeting number 56. Welcome back, everybody. In case you weren't here before, you can see the most recent video published from the 53rd Eden Fractal. It's up there now, and we'll share more soon. And that was the first game in which we debuted the Cignals game, first meeting in which we debuted the Cignals game. Since then, we played it another time. We played it last week when we had an Eden Fractal public good session. And now we have 2 topics on the agenda. So we're playing Cagendas. Of course, it's a social coordination game where players can propose topics and create agendas and so forth. And there are 2 topics on the agenda for today. One was proposed by Lisa, and actually, this is the Eden Consortium where you can post it, of course. And this is the one that I proposed about the Eden Fractal pitch session, and this was the one from Lisa. So Lisa asked, and she had to go to a Twitter space for Alien Worlds, I think, but she posted this just before we started, and I did vote on it. So I think this is the one with the most votes, and I think it should be a pretty brief discussion. So we can discuss this before we get into the discussion about the Eden Fractal pitch session. Basically, Lisa had reached out to me earlier. If anybody's not aware, we have been, I think everybody here is aware, pretty regular contributors here, but Eden Fractal has made recommendations to the Alien Worlds community, and specifically the creator, Michael Yates, and also anybody else who wants to vote according to the recommendations of Eden Fractal. And in meeting 50, we came to consensus to recommend Vlad and Red as custodians in Planet Ike. And in meeting 48, we came to consensus to recommend Duane and Lisa. And it's all built with a smart contracts and everything that from Noam and from Michael for the IBC and stuff like that. And then Lisa made the point basically that you can do it every week to refresh the votes basically. And so I just have to push a manual action as the representative of the council to push that action. I'm showing right now on the screen, edencreators.com/alienworldsfractal in case anybody's not familiar with what we're doing. And then you can scroll down a bit. In addition, also, I'll just give a shout out to Vlad and everybody who participated in the Alien Worlds Fractal meeting that we held on Wednesday. We had the second one. It went really well. And those are at every Wednesday at 15 UTC. We start 10 minutes earlier, and we're doing some really cool consensus games that you can learn about here. Vlad made a great article about introducing consensus games to Alien Worlds, and soon I'll be publishing videos for that too. But yeah, as far as recommendations, we're working with Michael and the Alien Worlds community to make recommendations. And the way that the system works is basically that every week the voting power lowers basically. So Lisa made the suggestion. She said that Vlad would have been reelected had we resubmitted that, but I wasn't sure if I should resubmit it or not. So it was cool with you all. She didn't make a formal proposal, but I don't think we need a formal proposal to decide this. Basically, if anyone wants to voice their opinion, I think we reached consensus with like 5 out of 5 people agreed that Eden Fractal can just, that the Alien Worlds vote should be refreshed each week. So I suppose if anybody has objections, then let me know. But otherwise, I'll just do that every week because Lisa and several other people, including Duane, agreed that this was a good thing to do. So I'll just keep my screen share up right now, and then we can get into the next topic. If we want to have a larger discussion about this, or anybody has any questions, then feel free. But does anybody have any objections? Thinks that Alien Worlds vote should not be refreshed weekly?
Yeah, just a quick fact is that so far it looks like elections happen on Tuesdays, and every day that goes by that you don't refresh it, your votes from the previous week decay. So it would be you'd have the most advantage to do that probably Tuesdays before the next election to keep the the least amount of decay in your votes. Because the second you refresh, every minute and hour that goes by, your votes start to decay. So yeah, I put it on maybe a kind of like a reminder to do it on Tuesday. And let me just look at my Alien Worlds things. I'm almost positive that's Tuesday. I'll just back up the time and confirm with you and send you a message. But just so you know, sometimes they do randomize when the elections are. But I can send you a link where you can kind of like look at when the next election is based on their countdown.
I approve. Let's refresh. Refresh. Okay, I'm okay.
Sounds good. We got the approval from Patrick. I approve as well, and I could do it thanks to the extra information there, Duane. So I can do it every Tuesday, so that the voting power is maximized to support great candidates like Vlad.
She's fresh. She's so fresh. Okay,
yes.
Refresh.
Okay. Check with everybody, and shall we proceed to the next topic? I'll vote on every Tuesday. Sounds good. Cool. We got some thumbs up, and now we're ready to proceed into the other topic on the agenda, which is Eden Fractal pitch sessions. So let's do it. I'll share my screen again. We got a thumbs up from Eric too. Sounds great. Thank you everybody for voicing your opinion and helping us make the best experience possible. So yeah, edencreators.com/pitches. Here we have a little article along with the proposal I made on consortium. You can see the proposal here, and there was, I think, 4 or 5 people who voted, or 2 people who voted on this and upvoted it, 4 people actually. So thanks for upvoting, and there's a little description here, and then the formatting is a little bit condensed there. So I wrote in more details here. Basically, let's play a game where we share speeches about public goods. So each player will get up to 3 minutes to share their speech, and then players will vote on Slido to determine who shared the most fun and beneficial speeches about public goods. This is similar to last week, but just a couple different things to make it more interesting, different ways, and give everybody the opportunity to share Pomelo grants if you haven't done so already, or if you want to do it again, or just any kind of speech about public goods. So I'll also be voting particularly to people who connect or tie in to their speech about how social consensus games can supercharge public goods and collaboration. That was it's kind of a big theme in talking to the Pomelo team this year, that we have to better tell the story and explain how social consensus games are so helpful for public goods. So I'll be looking out at that, and if people share that in their pitch, then I'll be more likely to vote. But of course, people can share whatever they want related to public goods with the Pomelo grant, and I'll also be donating 50 EOS for today's event. I said I donated 50 EOS for last week's event too, and still calculating that in Slido. So I'll do that by the end of the Pomelo season, which ends, I believe, at 12 UTC in like something like 16, 18 hours. This is the results from Slido from next week, and I'll be doing the calculations with, I think, Noam and Rosmari later today to just figure it out, and then I will support people's pitches according to the results there, in addition to some additional funding that I may provide. And this is all using the Cignals spreadsheet that we debuted during the anniversary of Eden Fractal. I shared the links there in the Telegram chat. I can share them again if you'd like to see it. But there's different pages here for rankings. Basically what this does is it calculates the average rank of each player over the past 12 weeks, and then also checks to see if they're a delegate. We have some manual process here, and we're working to automate it. And then that calculates a signal score, which is calculated by the average rank with a multiplier of 50% for each time somebody's elected as a delegate. Of course, the signal score can be changed in different ways. There can be different algorithms, but this is just kind of a first demo that I'm aiming to get a lot of testing done so that we can figure out how to improve it. And we're also aiming to automate it with fire hose and substreams from the Pinex team, but just a way to try it out, play a new exciting game where we can all voice our opinion and all compete to share more fun and helpful and beneficial speeches about public goods, because public goods are so helpful for everybody. In addition to the 50 EOS, well, first off, half the EOS will be split amongst the most beneficial speeches, which will be rated with the Cignals app. And then the other half, 25, will be split amongst the most fun speeches that are using Slido with the one person, one vote algorithm. And the EOS will be distributed according to the Fibonacci ratio, and self-votes will not be counted in this game. So I encourage everybody to vote for others. And I do think that, I know Jorge had made some good points in the beginning of Eden Fractal, how certain games are better to have no self-voting. So I think it's best for this one, support other people in the community by voting for who you think gave the most beneficial and the most fun speeches. I encourage everybody to also share fun. That was awesome last week. We all went in TVs, and I'll share that video soon, but it's great to see everybody having a great time while also creating public goods. And lastly, I'll also directly support the Pomelo grants with this 50 EOS is split amongst people too. So that will get some further amplification with the power of quadratic funding. This page also, if you scroll down on edencares.com/pitches, you can see some details about previous Eden Fractal pitch sessions. The one from last week will be available ASAP before next week, hopefully. And then you can see a little writing here, and you can watch the full videos from our first 2 Eden Fractal pitch sessions where people promoted Pomelo grants. We can do this way more, and in next season we can promote it way more as well. So that's what it is. If anybody has any questions about that, then feel free to jump in as I clicked the wrong link accidentally. I just put together a Slido poll. It's pretty similar to last week. I think everybody knows the formula now, knows the drill. Basically, there's a poll to a survey that I'll share in the Telegram live chat or just the Telegram general chat about, and it's got a survey with 4 different polls. The first 2 ones are the ones that count for the game. Who shared the most beneficial speech about public goods? If you're not familiar how this works, you can select, I have to actually update this because I did multiple choice. So I'm going to change this to a ranking format where you can rank however many you want. And basically the way that works is you just drag it up. I can actually show you how I do that. If anybody is curious about it, I can go into my admin panel for Slido here and then go click on edit. And then there's a button here where I can just change the multiple choice to ranking, and that will make it so everybody can rank. And then I'll leave that options to rank button off. In the speeches game, we had that where everybody needed to vote for 6, but basically we can just leave that off now, so anybody can rank as many as you want. If you want to just rank for 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, but if you want to rank 6 for everybody or however much you want, then we can do it either way. And then I'll refresh this and share a link, and now you can see how the ranking system works, where say if you thought, for example, Noam gave the most beneficial speech, and then Jorge gave the second most or whatever, and then maybe, Eric gave a better one, and you can drag it, and you can do that while we're people giving speeches or after, and please submit it by the end of the meeting today. And then you can go and do the same thing and put people's pitches according to who you think gave the most fun speech about public goods here. And of course you can do as many as you want. And then I also just have some funny and silly ones over here about how you're doing. And if you want to share what you think, whatever, then you can just write anything there. And then please also at the bottom where it says voting anonymous, please just click on that and enter your name. We're not able to calculate the signal score unless we know who it is. So the little section there where it says change to who I do, and you can edit. You don't have to put your email or anything like that, but you could just put your name there so we know how to do it. And then we will calculate that in the Signal spreadsheet to figure out who voted for who. And that will help me decide who to donate to, and can also be helpful for others too. I encourage other people to support everybody's public goods in the community. I believe that these are the most helpful public goods basically in the world. There's lots of helpful ones, but we're building profoundly helpful tools and games and communities and shows and everything like that. So really great to support people. With that, I think that closes up my introductory presentation for Eden Fractal pitch sessions. So each person will get up to 3 minutes. I'll also put up a timer too, and I'll also be more strict about the timing too if people are going over. I don't know, we have a pretty small group, so maybe I don't have to be strict, but just try to respect that time and don't go over 3 minutes. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the 4th Eden Fractal pitch session? And if not, would anybody like to go first? Welcome, Marco, by the way. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Dan, everyone. I'm just listening.
All right, sounds good. If you'd like to share your Pomelo grant, by the way, I think you have one for briefings again, Marco, then feel free. I see Duane is here and unmuted. Last week, actually, Duane shared a pitch for a Pomelo grant that is from Mo and Spreadsheet, I believe, the NFT Eden reputation system, which is doing awesome work building open source tools for reputation. So that's also an option too. If somebody doesn't want to share their own public goods they're creating, but wants to promote somebody else's public goods, then feel free. Also, I know last time Noam elected not to, so if you don't want to, then that's okay. But I encourage you to share a speech about public goods. It doesn't have to be about Pomelo, it could be about any sort of public goods. And it can also be about Eden Fractal and how Eden Fractal helps create public goods or fractals in general.
You just post the link again, Dan, for Slido.
Yes, I will post it now. I actually had not yet posted it in the chat. I think that Rosmari shared it in the chat, and I see Jorge tagged me as well. So I will share the link. I just shared the link to edencurious.com/pitches, and the link for Slido is now here. There's also an issue last week where I shared 2 links, and one of them worked and one of them didn't. So if you could please confirm that, Duane, for me, just to see if that link does work for you. And I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. Excelente. Is everybody ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Okay, sounds great. Who would like to go first? Before the meeting, we were talking that maybe Tadas could go first with Lisa, but Lisa had to go. So I know Patrick looks like he's really ready. Hey, Patrick, you went first last time. If you want to lead us off again, then feel free. Or anyone else wants
Yeah, short, straight to the point.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds
I
good.
put into the chat the link to my grandmother. Okay, so
And remember, Pat Nova Elton, maybe I should call you here. If you want to make it fun, then there are extra rewards.
I will song my grant.
Oh, excellent.
A performance here on Eden Fractal, only on Eden Fractal.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And by the way, if you or anybody wants to share your screen or you want me to share it for you,
I want it. Share my
want it?
screen.
Okay,
Totally.
I'll pull it up for you right now.
I will do a cohesive pitch, including my grant and every grant here. You will see the performance in live, improvised, with all the heart, the has. No, sorry, with all the heart, the soul, and the mind.
Okay, sounds great. Well, I'm
Let's
looking
go.
forward to that very much. And I now have your Pomelo Grand up on
Thank you.
Go ahead, I'll put the timer up as well.
Okay, at 3, 2, 1, I go.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, 0, go Pomelo! Everything I do it for you. Let me present my grant. It's named Mindweb. I have 57 contributors at the time. Thank you everyone to have voted for my grant. Basically, Dan, if you scroll the page, I can present my deliverables. I have 5 deliverables. Number 1, I do a Mindweb cockpit as a service on chain for the EOSBs with proof of stat on chain. That's the continuation. Go to the next grant. Thank you. Go to the next deliverable. Thank you. I do Mindweb cockpit as a service on chain for EOSDIN. I will become between season 6 and season 7 an EOSDIN bounty provider, selectioning the 30 Pomelo grant donors, the best donors. Go to the next deliverable. I am doing also a Mindweb cockpit as a service for on-chain Pomelo matching pools analysis with proof of stat. Yeah, baby. Go to the next deliverable. I am doing my Antelope Swiss workshop coming on July 23rd. That's the 21. I will have an Antelope Swiss workshop multimedia experience into a mind map. That's that. Go to the next deliverable, scroll down. At 500 milliseconds, you can do it. That's the Mindweb Pomelo collections, amplified because now it's true matching pools. And I encourage everyone to give to the Hidden Repu by Duane, Philippi, Sashit, and Mo, and Jesse Jaffe. I encourage everyone to give to Tadas Veiticunas, the Pomelo, the albedo on Pomelo. I encourage everyone to give to Jorge Ramos, that has also a grant for a simulation. Don't simulate too much, Jorge. So everything I do it for you. We are on Pomelo. Oh, I forget we have the news also on Pomelo. So give it to him, otherwise he don't will be happy, because he's doing beautiful things. Also, if sometimes he's doing some bullshit, but I think he's doing a beautiful things. So donate to everyone. That's finished.
Thank you, Father Patrick. Thank you. That was done with the style of a priest, of a Greek Orthodox priest. I recognize that canton.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was like a Gregorian
Thank
chant.
you. Let us be attentive.
All right, welcome Perry. By the way, Perry joined and got right into the singing, which I've been trying to convince Perry to sing for a long time. I think that's the first time. So thank you, Patrick, for inspiring us. Quite a fun speech too. I started clapping, but I'll give another round of applause here. There's also beautiful rendition and great work with public goods for Nova Crypto in general, or more specifically with mindwebs and your 5 different ways you're providing value. Also, there's a message from Marco saying, "Hey Dan, are you going to list all the grants presented on a website to check later?" And he said that he has one more round recommendation to do. And there is the Eden Fractal collection, which I shared there too, which I encourage people to check out. I meant to add dnews on there last year because I know that last season Perry didn't have one. But I will add that on promptly. I'll just share the screen again. I'll also share the link in the Eden Fractal chat. This one I put together. See that pomelo.io/collection/Eden Fractal. If anybody has a grant that's not on here, but you'd like to add it, then feel free to add. But this is a bunch of great contributors who join Eden Fractal meetings and are building really cool and helpful public goods for everybody. So I will share the link there. And Marco, that is a place where you can check later, and encourage you and everybody to do donations to people building with Eden Fractal. Thumbs up.
1 EOS is enough. Huh? You can give 1 EOS at least. That's okay.
That's right. 1 EOS, and with the magic of quadratic funding, that can be amplified and result in much more good. Ooh. All right. So great. Thank you so much for kicking us off, Pat, Nova, Elton, John, Joy. Would anybody like to go next?
That's not good. Change my name.
Okay. Or if nobody wants to go next, then perhaps if Patrick would like to nominate anybody, or maybe just
absolutely. Pat Novalton here. So I want to nominate Tadas. I see him burning. He want to pitch his Pomelo grant. That's named Albedo. So let's go, my Tadas.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. So Albedo is a project which aims to the general goal is to empower human-centric DAOs, and the main project through which I aim to do this is Firmament. It's basically a blockchain protocol which runs on IPFS and which enables people to have a DAO which has its own chain and which would be totally in control of its own consensus process. What problems does it solve? It solves account creation problem, because right now to start participating in a typical DAO, you need blockchain accounts, and that's like the main hurdle for all blockchain application, basically. And it also solves the problem of having to choose what blockchain to run on. And all of this you can have without sacrificing ability to use typical blockchains. So you can, for example, create a blockchain on IPFS for your DAO and start invite people who don't know nothing about blockchains to participate in it. They don't need to go through typical hurdles of buying any crypto or whatever to start participating. And then you can eventually publish this DAO, the smart contract of the DAO, on a chain like EOS. And that way you achieve, first of all, you achieve that your DAO can integrate with typical blockchain applications like cryptocurrencies, and you also it can also be a way of onboarding people, new people to the blockchain world. Besides that, I can see how Firmament can create a naming system which can basically change a whole power dynamic of in blockchain space, because that way, if you control the name, basically you control how people reach the application. So that the firmament could be a front end to the blockchain world, basically. But that's for the future, and I think the initial benefits are already clear.
Amen.
Excellent.
So yeah, so please support, like, if you see potential in this idea, and
Yeah, I see.
if you know any people who could help, please contact me as well.
Yeah,
And even 1 EOS is a big help on Pomelo.
Eric will give 50, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we'll see what Eric does. I don't know how you would know that, but yeah, I encourage everybody to support. If you want to add anything there, Eric, then of course feel free to jump in. And then, yeah, thanks so much to Tadas for the awesome pitch. Encourage everybody to support Albedo. I'll also briefly share the screen too. And once again, if anybody wants me to share the screen while doing Pomelo, then feel free and I can scroll. Or if you want to do so yourself, everybody has screen sharing permissions. But this is at pomelo.io/albedo. And also in the Telegram live chat, I also shared a link to both the mindweb grant that Patrick presented, as well as Tadas's grant for Albedo, as well as the collections. And so you can scroll through and learn more about Albedo here, much more. In addition to, I'll just briefly show the edencreators.com/albedo article where there's more information about Albedo here. I've been curating Tadas's work. I'm a really big supporter and fan of it. And also Firmament article at edencreators.com/firmament. Tadas, he gave a great interview with Patrick on the antelope workshop a few months ago, and he also gave a demo. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he also gave a great demo at Eden Fractal meeting number 40. So you can see that, as well as a presentation to learn more about Firmament, as well as Albedo updates that he has linked in there, as well as a Telegram channel to learn more as well. So thank you so much to Tadas for all the great work. Encourage everybody to support. And would anybody like to go next and share your public goods?
Jorge.
Or hey,
Voilà.
there we go.
Voilà.
Chanting to inspire him. Go ahead, Jorge.
All right, thank you very much. I'll share my screen. If I can make this sufficiently efficient. So this is the Pomelo grant I'm pitching today. It's aimed to create a stable coin protocol on EOS. As it says, the stablecoin protocol implementation would be much more beneficial to the whole community if implemented at the EVM level. This is a protocol not necessarily specific for US dollars, but it can be implemented for any commodity, either for gold or silver or wheat, whatever commodity. And I'll try to explain here how the protocol would work. I do have a spreadsheet here. Let's suppose we have 3 players, which are A, B, and C. And let's suppose currently the EOS price is $2. So player A decides to stake $100 EOS, sorry. And because 1 EOS currently is $2, the amount staked is equivalent to $200. With those $200 worth of EOS, he creates through the protocol, let's say 100 Eden dollars, which are the stable coin. That means he has a collateral ratio of 2 because he has staked $100 each. Excuse me, he has staked 100 EOS. Each EOS is worth $2, so he has staked a total of $200. And he has created $100 Eden dollars, so he has a collateral ratio of 2. Now let's say we have a player B, which stakes, let's say $300, 300 EOS, and creates 200 Eden dollars. So this player B has a collateral ratio of 3. And finally, let's have a big player C, which stakes, let's say 10,000 well, yeah, 10,000 EOS, which is equivalent to $20,000, but he used those to create 15,000 Eden dollars. So he has a pretty low collateral ratio of 1.33. Now, for each Eden dollar to be pegged to the actual price of a US dollar, we need all these collateral ratios to be above 1. And we see that player C has a collateral ratio of 1.33, meaning that if EOS price goes down, peg is risking to be lost. So let's suppose that EOS price now goes down to $1.8 per EOS. It was 2. And excuse me, I have a mistake in my, we had 2.
You're at 3 minutes now. Okay, let's wrap it up the next minute.
Okay, so let's suppose that EOS price goes down. It seems the spreadsheet is working, but let's suppose the EOS price goes down so that the collateral ratio of player C goes below 110. So he's about to get liquidated, but instead of being liquidated and that money being transferred to the contract, the whole position, meaning the collateral plus the debt, is transferred to the other players. So this player that has only risked $100 now is holding a position of 10,000 EOS, and he needs to pay $15,000, but he's got the risk transferred to him. But if at that moment the collateral, the EOS price rebounds, he will have earned a pretty big amount of money just by taking the risk. So that's the protocol I'm proposing. I hope I was clear, and I'll leave the link in the chat. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jorge, for all the great work on the stablecoin protocol and then also the demonstration as well. I'll also give a quick shout out to Jorge too. If anybody wants to go next, then please raise your hand and we can just get going and keep it moving. But one thing I'll also start too is Jorge has another pitch too, which I think maybe presented last week. I don't know if he got the chance to present last week, but computer symbolization for DAO governance that Jorge's been doing. I'll also share a link to that and Jorge's other grant in the Telegram live chat. Thanks so much, Jorge, for all you're doing with the Pomelo grants, as well as your excellent work with public goods with the Eden fractal and the Spanish-speaking fractal as well. With that, I suppose maybe I'll give a little round of applause to Jorge and everybody here for doing great work. And yeah, who wants to go next? I see Marco would probably want some charts, maybe even basic one and detailed one. Interesting. Sounds great. Good suggestion.
My wife wants to go next, but she has no grant.
Okay.
Is
well,
it possible? No, it's a joke. It's a joke. Okay.
As I said before, it's not just a Pomelo pitch session, it's an Eden fractal pitch session. So any kind of public goods are good. If you have a Pomelo grant you want to support, that's excellent. But also if you wanted to share anything you're doing, I'm sure your wife is doing lots of good public goods.
She do nothing, so that's okay.
I see Eric is unmuted. Perhaps Eric would like to go next.
Yeah, I would just like to take this opportunity to say that one of the dangers of having such talented people is we forget how powerful all these people can be as a team, because they're just so good by themselves. Just look at the production in each one of these talks, amazing. But it really caught me as we're talking at the Crown Call last week, how powerful it is to put these talents together. So we talked about rolling out all the work we're doing here in the real world. And so we had Lisa, who is the world's greatest promoter, coming up with how to pull stuff out. She talked about a nonprofit organization with over 3,000 people, 3,000 different organizational units that we could help. Then on top of that, we have Vlad, who's creating all these tools that we can roll out to them. Then we have Dan that can do facilitation of helping them roll this stuff, plus content creation. I have work in strategic planning, marketing, sales, and that interface between the people and the technology. And there's a lot more in there. I'm just saying, just in that little instance, in a few minutes, that group of powerful people, I think, planned and came up with more than most people could come up with in weeks. It's just the speed and the power and the effectiveness of what can be done working with a team is pretty exciting. And that's kind of why I'm excited with the work that we're doing with the Center for Governance, because it's really about taking the best of the best in areas and putting together. And I've been very excited about the people I've been working with. Dan, I need to talk to you yet. You're the last one. So today or sometime, do that. But just the power of putting all these talents to work harnessed is the results are amazing, even more than the amazing we're doing individually. That's all I had.
Awesome speech, Eric. Thank you. Thank you for the great reminder. Yeah, we have amazing. Patrick is hurting himself, clapping so loud, it looks like. Very inspiring. And yeah, I'm very happy to set that chat, by the way, too. I just responded to your Telegram message, so looking forward to collaborating with you there. And yeah, thanks so much. Very, very awesome and great speech. Thank you. I see Patrick is unmuted. If you want to add anything, if anyone wants to jump in with any comments real quick, feel free. But otherwise,
Perry.
All right. Perry.
Okay. All right.
If you'd like to chant it as well, and feel free.
How much time do I have?
You have 3 minutes. And by the way, just in case you missed it, Perry, there's prizes. I'm giving out 50 EOS, 25 EOS for each the most beneficial speeches about public goods and about the most fun speeches. It can be about your Pomelo grant or about just public goods in general, and that'll be distributed to the top 6 winners of each of those categories according to the Fibonacci algorithm. You have 3 minutes to go. Does that and do you understand?
Well, what I'd like to do, if it's okay, is instead of having a speech, because I think you guys have already heard my Pomelo speech last week.
No.
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 Patrick was not there, maybe, I guess, but
no. And even I went to hear again. I went to hear.
Well, what I think what I'd like to do, if it's okay, is just have a video play that that shows another aspect of dnews, and it's really, it just kind of helps people understand what it is and what I've created, and it's I'll post it right here. If someone can play that for me, that would be my presentation. I think it's 1minute 30-some seconds. Sorry, it's 3 minutes and 7 seconds. So okay. you can go as far as you want on it. 3 minutes is fine. So
okay, sounds good. Yeah, I can play that. 3 minutes and 7 seconds is good. So I will
totally.
And
let's go.
Or you can play the last minute at 1.25 speed. So we make it before 3 minutes.
Okay. 500 milliseconds will be better.
Actually, that's fine. You can play it a little faster. There's no one speaking on it. It's just the music will go, and that's fine.
Sounds good. Okay. I'll play it all on 1.25 speed, and
rapid fire.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Sounds good. I'll play it now.
Inflate the balloons. Let's go.
Oh, I'm not sure if you can hear the audio right now. Can you hear the audio?
No, I don't hear anything.
Full screen, maybe?
Can you hear the audio now?
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, sounds good.
No, it's not coming.
The audio
it's not coming. No.
Oh, it's still not coming? It's too loud. Sorry, that's too loud.
And then maybe full screen?
I'm not sure if I'll mess it up if I go full screen. Can you still see it?
Kind of.
That's Starsky and Hutch music. That's nice.
I'm playing the videos that are in the community. It's not my music.
Yeah.
The screen is kind of frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much bandwidth. That's why, I think.
It's not playing well.
Yeah,
It's not playing
I'm
now.
not getting it. It's not working.
Oh, okay. Bummer. Oh, yeah, it says screen sharing is paused. So, yeah, for some reason I've been having some issues with my screen share. I could try
But
doing it an alternative way. Or,
I have a proposal. Perry, can you pitch your grant in 3 minutes? What is dnews and what is offer? What is deliver? Because we know all that it is a fantastic tool. So let's pitch that at the Perry sauce. Push the sauce, Perry. Let's go.
Well, I've got a 5-minute speech. Let me see if I can hack it off to 3 minutes. Okay, let me see if I can do this in. So I'm going to start in the middle of my official 5-minute Pomelo speech, and let me
Okay.
see if I can do this in 3 minutes.
okay.
Whenever
let's
you're
put the
ready,
timer
Duane.
on now. I'll put the timer on now and ready in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Next, I'd like to step back a bit and share my vision of dnews and how important design attributes make it a valuable tool for the community and why I'm asking for your support. Important design element attribute number 1. dnews does not show the typical sponsored ads. Instead, the user optimized interface shows limited ads, and the ones it does show are community public service announcements and ads to meetings and events where things are actually being built and people are having fun, just like this meeting we're in right now. Important design attribute number 2, dnews feeds are algo free. Unlike the typical big tech social media platform feeds, which determine which posts you see and in what order, dnews gives you the pure, unfiltered feed just as each source has posted them. You get your news aggregated, yet in an unprocessed, organic form. That's very different from a news feed that is micro-targeting you. In other words, a feed that is being served up based on your personal data points, including your browsing history and extracted preferences. Important design attribute number 3. dnews enriches your news experience. Actually, it's fun. See how quickly you can get around viewing all the great fresh content the community is producing. Because we all know knowledge is power. It's exhilarating and time-saving and addicting at the same time. As I mentioned before, dnews is now actually customizable, allowing you to save your customized bookmarks and feeds. While dnews comes by default loaded with all the community feeds that you can customize, dnews also includes other sources of news that you can choose to activate or not, including news from the greater crypto environment and general news as well. So you can quickly get a big picture of the day all within the same web app on any device. I'll be adding new feeds all the time and welcome any suggestions to make the experience fuller and richer with options while at the same time maintaining the focus on the community. Design attribute number 4, dnews does not micro-target you, which means it serves the exact same feed to all the users. Everyone has the same picture of the community. This helps us by reducing friction, as well as a well-educated community may more easily reach consensus. A community being micro-targeted, on the other hand, where everyone may see a different picture of the community, is subject to manipulation and divide. dnews fixes that. dnews keeps your community whole with an unprocessed, aggregated stream of up-to-the-moment news and events. While I understand the need for targeted advertising to attract new members to the community, there has to be a place where people can go to get the clearest and most comprehensive picture.
That's
Beep, 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 beep.
3 minutes.
That's why I built dnews and why I'm asking for your support. And there's more, but I got beeped.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you very much, Perry. Great work with dnews and great pitch. My apologies that the video didn't work. I was saying before, I'm in a mobile setup right now, so I'll get that working by next week so we can work it better. And also, I will share the link to the video you shared on the YouTube channel for dnews, and also
And to the Pomelo grant.
in the live chat. Yes, that is correct. So
yeah,
so much, Perry, and awesome pitch. Would anybody like to go next? I saw Duane look like he was picking
I'd
up.
like to
I don't know. What's
I'd
that?
like to make a quick comment about. I'd like to say that I see a lot of work in dnews site, and it's been a constant, consistent, continuous effort, which speaks to in my opinion, very, very good of Perry as an individual. I think this idea, it's a little greater than this community. It feels like that. So I'd like to find a way to help you propel it. I already made my donation, but I think the whole idea deserves much, much better, like maybe target a bigger community. Yeah. I'm thinking out loud, but I really want to commend Perry's work. This is the new
Wow.
site.
Thanks, Jorge. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
The same for me. I will publish Antelope Swiss Workshop 21. I will be on the top of the news. Like this, the news will go to the sky. Let's go!
Sounds great.
Thanks, Leslie.
Good.
Thank
Thank you, Jorge and Patrick,
Thank
supporting
you.
Perry that. Also, Perry, I mentioned before that you weren't previously on the Eden Fractal collection because you didn't have one last season, but I just added it there. So everybody can find it at pomelo.io/collection/Eden Fractal, where you can find the news as well as in the Telegram live chat for Eden Fractal, where you can find the links to the videos and the Pomelo grant that Perry just shared. Thanks so much, all. Would anybody like to go next? I see a thumbs up from Duane. Are we hearing from Duane? Once again, too, there is prizes for most fun. So if people want to share some fun pitches, then you can go for it. Oh, and I see you see ukulele. All right, on to Duane.
All right. So we can't let Patrick be the only singing grant here. So
Yeah.
I've when I sing, people's ears bleed. So I will try and make this as pleasant as possible.
Okay. Thank
This
you.
is a triangle, and I really don't even know how to play it. So this is going to be, if it's rude, just at least think it's entertainment.
Hallelujah.
Durango, never heard of that. Awesome.
Pomelo. I think that's all I got. That's all I got.
I didn't hear the instrument.
If you
Play it?
want, I can sing and you play. Okay. Okay.
Well, hold on, Patrick. This is Duane's pitch. So
But we can share the pitch. He sing.
Okay, let me share the pitch too.
Okay.
Yeah, first, Patrick, let's be quiet and give Duane the stage here.
Yeah. Sure.
I want to hear Duane sing. We've heard your beautiful voice many times, but I think Duane is underselling himself.
If you sing good, I give you
and so forth.
20 euros. Okay.
There we go.
Oh
Same here.
God, stakes just went up. Get serious here.
Oh yeah.
Open source, Eden reputation system. I think that's all. That's all I got. Eden reputation system. Please support. It combines the rest of like what we're doing, right? So I think, if you haven't been paying attention, there is an Eden election coming up in 2 weeks. Stop by the Telegram channel. They've changed a little bit of the direction of Eden to try and get to the next step. Eden hasn't really found its legs. But one thing I really think is going to help all of us is this tool is the token reputation system. So NFTs rewarding us for participating, right? So hopefully we can all use that and give generously. And I'm pretty proud of all your grants. I've supported all of them. I don't know if it's like really helps the quadratic funding if I support another EOS each. But I will give out like a shout out to anybody here that hasn't given an EOS. You don't even have to give an EOS. If you only have one EOS, split it into 0.1s to everybody, right? So this is these are the guys that make everything happen. Support everybody. I'm really excited about all your grants. And hope lots more prosperity just flows in this next day. Thanks. I tried.
Great speech and great singing, Duane. I love it. It sounds awesome. I want to hear more of that. Although I don't know if anybody else could hear it. I didn't hear what was that instrument called? Chachango or something?
Charango.
Charango. Were other people able to hear that? The instrument?
Does it pick it up at all?
I think maybe not. Maybe if you play it really loud. I don't hear it.
No?
Yeah,
No,
me either.
yeah, I imagine you're not fooling us and make it seem like you play it. But yeah, for whatever reason, sometimes microphones are strange like that, where it doesn't pick up the instrument.
Yeah.
It's considered noise.
Well, I
Yeah,
look
it might be
forward to hear
different
more.
setting on the mic too. You never know.
Oh yeah, there's settings in
Oh,
for like
Duane,
recording.
I gave you 10 years for this performance.
Oh, just only 10? That
Yeah,
was worth.
because you
Do I still have I still have 44
yeah,
seconds.
that was not
You
the
went-
perfection, but I
You
gave
have
you
40
10.
I'll
seconds.
serenade you.
It-
Oh,
it-
Yeah.
Patrick, your singing drives me nuts sometimes,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
still love you, and I'm doing this as an ode to you.
Ooh.
You
You know what? Everything I do it for you. Check your account. I gave you 10 years. Perry, also check your account. And Jorge, check your account. And Tadas, check your account. And when Rosmari will be approved because she has an action on his grant, I will give you 10 years.
All right. Thank you very much, Patrick. And thank you very much, Wayne. Great singing, everybody. I love to see you singing while supporting public goods. Awesome stuff. We're almost at the top of the hour right now, and there's still a few people who haven't gone yet. We haven't heard from Marco, Vlad, Noam, Rosmari, myself. So we can keep moving along. Would anybody like to go next?
No! Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes. Let's go.
Noam, Rosmari, I see you both on camera, or Vlad or Marco. I know Marco has a briefings grant, and
Where is the timer?
I have the timer over here, but nobody's currently going, so I will add the timer when appropriate.
I'm not going to have a presentation. I don't want to compete with people who actually have a proposal on Pomelo. I just want to encourage everyone to vote at least with 1 EOS for anything that they think is useful. Because of the quadratic voting, it really counts a lot. And I noticed that Perry, again, doesn't have an entry on Slido, so people who want to vote for him can't. You have Jorge twice, and Perry doesn't show up. So if you can fix that, that would help.
Oh, thank you,
very much.
Noam.
I will fix that now. I appreciate the feedback.
Thanks, Noam.
Always good to have a beard into the group. Very, very important. Okay, so I will go there and I will vote for sure.
Okay, just
Please
wait.
don't be as cheap as to donate 1 EOS. Come on, 1 EOS is $50 currently.
1 EOS is, sorry, it's rapaputas. It's
Donate,
ridiculous. So,
donate
no.
enough for your people, the people who's doing the work. Donate at
Yeah.
least 10 EOS each.
Yeah, 10 at least. Yeah.
At least 10
At
EOS.
least. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I just updated it with the adding Perry. My apologies, Perry, for not adding you there. You joined a bit later, and so I didn't realize. Also, I can add Marco too if Marco's planning to participate. Because I'm not sure if I added Marco. Marco, if you're still listening, are you planning to participate today and share your pitch? If not, that's okay if you want to just listen. But if you do share your pitch, then I will add you to, or perhaps I'll just add you in case you decide that you want to join at any point.
Yeah, no, I'll just listen. I'm kind of AFK. W3briefs.com. Let's see, we do everything quick. You want to save you time? You got timelines. You can go from the timelines to the original resource links. That'll take you to the history if you like as well. And then we have project specific chunks. That's it.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Marco. I'll share my screen real quick to just give a shout out to a couple of these most recent pitches. First off, to Duane's beautiful rendition of the Eden Reputation System song. I suppose we can call that. I don't know what that is, but everybody can check that at pomelo.io/grant/EdenRepu. And you can also find the white paper and lots of great details here from Mo. We're working with the Eden NFT group with a cheat and everybody and Chuck. So really cool to see. And thanks once again, Duane. And then also the w3briefs.com. I'll have to go into, well, I can find it from the Pomelo collection actually. If I go here somewhere and I search for briefs, then it should come up. So you can see the Pomelo grant that Marco just promoted here at pomelo.io/grant/EOSGalaxy. And I will add that into the Pomelo, or rather the Telegram live chat for Eden Fractal. I'll also give people a reminder too, now that these Slido things are correct. I just have some results here, but these aren't necessarily the full results, but just for purpose of just demonstration, I'll submit my response and then show you how it works. We have a presentation page now where I don't know if anybody has submitted the results yet, but that was a comment that I shared there. And then if I go into, I suppose, I have to hit the back button here. That's how you can see the results of the chat or of the poll so far. And you should be able to see who voted so far. I'm not sure if anybody submitted, but basically that's how you can do it. And then, yeah, for some reason it's not showing. So I'll look into why it's not showing, because it says there's 2 people who submitted results, but it's not showing, but it should show live as people are voting. So I'll troubleshoot that and figure it out. But yeah, encourage everybody as you're listening to pitches, you can go and you can always edit your response to change your votes and you can move it around. So encourage everybody to do that before you gotta go. I know it's just about 18 UTC. So if anybody has to get going soon, then we'll appreciate y'all being here. If anybody wants to share some words before they gotta go, we still haven't heard from Rosmari or myself, basically. I think those are the only 2 people. And well, Rosmari, if you want to go ahead, then feel free. Would be happy to hear from you. I can also go ahead first too, if you prefer. I know you have the community stories grant that I don't think was approved, but I see you're unmuted now, so it's yours.
Can I ask a question and just kind of generally put something out there?
Yes.
What do you guys think? I don't know how many people have telos pool grants. I do. I've got both. I've got EOS and telos. Would it be like against the rules or unethical for us to actually contribute to the telos pool, even though we are EOS? I don't know if we are. No, we're not EOS in here. We're Eden Fractal.
We're Eden Fractal. We're not EOS.
Okay, so from a game theory point of view, it makes sense to actually, because you're getting a greater multiplier on the telos pool. It makes sense for us to contribute to, if somebody has that pool, that telos pool, it makes sense to contribute there as opposed
So
to
you
the
get
other.
more matching on telos?
Yeah, dramatic.
Wow.
Dramatic.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how that's looked upon. I was kind of interested in feedback on that. Anybody have any feedback on whether that's the right thing to do, or whether can you get in trouble for doing that? I don't know.
No,
I just want to say,
just personally, I give it to all the pools, and yeah, you can kind of see when you do give in your profile, you can see the different pools, and you can even see your ranking of like how you ranked as like your contributions to each one of those pools. So yeah, I personally would think, just to bring that up here is fine, and then obviously, and like, hopefully everyone can contribute to almost everybody that's put the effort in to get some match funding, right? Especially this group, vote for, put your funding towards the people here first. But personally, I think it's all good. Just because they have the different pools doesn't mean you can't. Like, I contributed in EOS to the telos pool, and they get their money. So
Yeah, thanks for the response, Duane. And Perry, I'll say, how about we save the discussion for afterwards? We'll let Rosmari go because she was about to go, and then I can go, just so we respect everybody's time, and then we can come back to this.
No, I'm
Dan,
done.
you need to
That's
fix,
all I want.
you need to fix Slido again. You're not on the second poll.
Excellent. Thank you very much. In the future, maybe I'll ask Rosmari to help with that. That's how we did last time, because I'm juggling quite a few things. Or if anybody else wants to volunteer to help, then that would be appreciated. But thank you very much, Noam, for volunteering to correct all my mistakes here. And in the future, we'll do it correct from the first start so that we don't need to do it. But I'll fix that now, and I'll add myself. Thank you. And thank you, Perry, for the suggestion. If you wanted to share one last comment there, Perry, or one last word, then feel free. It sounded like you wanted to say something.
I want to introduce Rosmari with Pillow Talk.
what?
Got Pillow Talk coming up. Rosmari, would you like to share your speech about public goods?
Hello, Talk. Yes, I don't have my grant approved yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I will make changes to get it approved because it finishes today or tomorrow. So anyway, I want to talk about public goods in general, and can you please set the timer, please, Dan, or I can do it actually.
I just started it.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome.
So, public goods. I'm gonna say what public goods mean to me and what I understand from it, and that's in relation to this meeting. It's about creating a space where people can freely express opinion, share their thoughts and projects, which immensely provides a great public good for everyone. So this encourages participation, competitiveness, good energy, vibes, entertainment, and one of the most important features is the connections with people and just hearing what people think about public goods and how they represent themselves in front of the public and how they build all of that to come together into one piece eventually and share it with the rest of the people out there. The loss in connection is becoming more and more fractal, and then communicating is getting sometimes harder to do, and people in the fractal are sticking together and helping each other to grow. And that way we may not realize with every meeting that goes by, but actually we're really helping each other to thrive and succeed and, you know, be on time and just getting that reality check with what everyone is doing, how things are changing really. So that is a connection itself, and it's a connection to the movement, getting our personal tools and our own toolbox to help us build the blocks of our future. Not just in blocks.io, but also our time on Earth, really. And this group supports all of that. It supports the open discussion and how we can all freely talk about that. And someone just left, but anyway, welcome. They were welcome. Thanks. And the types of public goods include security, education, knowledge, infrastructure, environment, and health. And I think that we're working towards covering all of that, if not already. So that's what I think about public goods and in Fractal. Thanks.
Rosmari, would you mind sharing why you're not being approved? I don't want to put you on the spot, and if you don't want to answer that, that's fine. I'm just curious. Can you share that? Why they're not approving you?
Yes, I'm not providing direct benefit to EOS community through my grant.
And your grant is acting as a host in some capacity? Do I have that right?
Yes, and I'm talking about Eden Fractal, communities. I'm talking about EOS, the somewhat, but it's not solely related on EOS.
Okay.
Okay, I will accept this grant because
Go for it.
yeah, but I don't want to be the asshole, so I say nothing. But I love you. I love you. No, not you, but the grant for sure.
Yeah, and I would say the same. We could all be going over to Polygon and doing consensus and governments on one of their coins and change, right? So the bottom line is it's, you know, we're using the Eden network and we're using a token that we've created on there. We're using the hard work of contributors that have given like smart contracts to make all this work. So yeah, I would hope that we need more people doing things that they like and are passionate about it on the network. So yeah, I really hope that we can get our voices across, that the more people the better. You know what I mean? Like if we're talking about or using the network or doing stuff, I would say that's kind of EOS, because we have a choice. we could be on somewhere else, right? So yeah, I support you. You're always here. You do a lot of hard work, and yeah, if somehow I could voice my opinion, I don't have influence, I don't think, but it'd be but yeah, where I can put in my voice, there's some open forums, this afternoon there's the fireside chat, there's different places. So yeah, we don't get anywhere by being assholes and talking out of turn or being loud. Like, we want to be polite, and but yeah, I'll back you up, and look forward to seeing your grant on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to support Rosmari, now Rosmari, please post your EOS account name into this Zoom, and everyone will give you something.
Would
Put
it
your
be out of line?
put your EOS account name into the Zoom chat, please.
Would it be out of line to suggest that donations be directed to Dan? Since
No, to Rosmari.
But she doesn't have a grant. She doesn't have a grant, Patrick.
And what? I don't need to have someone that has a grant to support him. What is bullshit? So now, Rosmari, push your name into the Zoom, and I will give you some.
So angry.
The point is, Dan can get it. He can get matching and pass it on to Rosmari. She gets more that way.
Oh, hey! Oh, yeah. Noam, you're a genius.
Support Dan and his 2 grand.
Oh, Noam. Mamma mia.
I give the mic to Dan now.
Okay, well, sounds great. Thank you very much, Rosmari, and also that deserves a big round of applause. Your speech was wonderful. Thank you so much for all your
Rosmari. Go, Rosmari.
Go, Rosmari. Go, Rosmari. Absolutely. Thank you as well, Patrick, and Perry, and Duane, and Noam for this.
Yeah, Duane is a sage.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, she's doing awesome work. I'll share the screen briefly before I go to just to show what she's doing in case anybody's not familiar with Rosmari's work with community stories, which was her grant.
Let me make one more suggestion.
Okay.
Make Rosmari's donation in telos instead of EOS. That way, Dan wouldn't have to worry. That way, Dan wouldn't have to worry which one is his.
That's genius.
And maybe put a memo on there so he knows which one goes to Rosmari or not.
Noam, I love you. So,
okay,
do what Noam say. He's the god. Do that. That will be nice.
I want to give Perry credit for both of the ideas. Both the idea of doing it through to get the matching. And using telos were ideas that I got from Perry. I just helped phrase it.
No, it was a question for me.
Okay.
Just a question. But I appreciate the generosity.
All the credits to Perry. Sorry, all the credits.
Questions. Sometimes questions are worth more than answers.
The Socratic method has been around for a while.
Well, thank you, Noam and Perry, for both of your generosity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ingenuity as well. And thank you, Rosmari, as well. If anybody does want to support Rosmari directly, I recommend she can at rosmari.gm. That's excellent too. But if you want to support my grants, and I'm happy.
Rosmari.gm. Okay, I give 100 EOS in a couple.
Yep, that's right. And she deserves a lot of.
No, I can't. I am poor. I give 10. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I can't. I give 5.
All right, Patrick. Just do your thing, and then we can proceed with the meeting too. So anyway, thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for the awesome speech, Rosmari. And I'll share a little bit about Rosmari's speech as I've been showing screens to everybody, and then I'll jump into mine. Also, I see Lisa joined too. So perhaps before I go, Lisa, if you'd like to share anything, I know you had a Twitter space at Alien World, I think. If you'd like to participate and share your pitch about public goods, I think you know how it works, but I don't know if you have a Pomelo grant or if you wanted to share a pitch or a speech about public goods in general. I know you're very enthusiastic about them. I see you're unmuted now. So welcome back, Lisa. And
sure. Just briefly, I will. I don't have a Pomelo speech, a grant request in, but I do have a public good in mind. However, I would propose, and I'll begin by saying this, I would propose that we consider how to integrate public goods into the business that we do, and that we have some opportunities coming up where we can consider that. For example, if we identify there is a public good by creating a smart contract or a solution that's a combination of a smart contract and consortium voting and a fractalgram or what have you, what would that look like if we were able to integrate that into solutions being sold to people, therefore getting the customers and the access and the setup of companies that are doing those sorts of things? And when we do that, how would we reward the participants? Are there mechanisms already built in so that equity and rewards are inherent in the system, or is that something that we still have to do and build in? But I think it's the time to consider the public goods that we've started, how to scale them by integrating them into companies or organizations or people who are wanting solutions that are in line with social media and metaverse and things that we're dealing with, games, so forth, blockchain, NFTs, all of the fun things. And this is a big opportunity. So I'd say orthogonal in a way to all of the good public goods that are being created. Let's think about how we can create some models to scale that up through products and services being sold, and therefore extending the goodness all around.
I just want to say that I have published into the Pomelo chat now exactly. I think this grant is really fantastic and has a long way to go. For someone that joined the EOS community since February, she deserves to be approved. So now you go on this message and you make thumbs up. Go on this message.
Which message,
everyone?
Patrick? Do you say where is this message?
Into the Pomelo Telegram, into the Grant Season 6 donation are open. The last message that I have answered. Thank you, Dan. I see a thumbs up. Now go there. Oh, I will put the link here into the chat. I will put the link into the chat, and you will go there for sure. Okay, voila. You have the link into the chat. You click on it, then you give a thumbs up to this group of Pomelians. They are not fractalians for sure. They are Pomelians. So you go there and you show the power of this hidden fractal there. Yeah, she contributes to EOS for sure. She do videos. She has interviewed the best dog in the galaxy. She has interviewed Good as all. Soon she will interview Eric. She will interview Mackenbird. She will interview Duane. She will interview Lisa. She will interview Noam, the best bird.
Book those interviews, but yeah. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Patrick, for the support of Rosmari.
Go there and support.
Yeah. Also, if you could share that in the Telegram chat, Patrick, feel free, or I can do it. I see Rosmari said thanks to
Yeah.
I do. But thanks to Tadas for being there, and thanks Lisa for the awesome speech too. I love your advocacy for public goods and building a business model with it. Excellent work. We are 15 minutes past 18 UTC, so I suppose I can get going and with mine, and also share a bit more about Rosmari's as well. But yeah, thanks so much.
Oh, I see a lot of thumbs up. Incredible.
Sounds great. That's good to see. And that goes to what Duane was saying too. Like, we want to be polite and respectful, but in my opinion, the Pomelo team made a very big mistake, or I mean, it's not a huge mistake because there's more seasons obviously, but it doesn't make any sense because what Rosmari's doing is clearly helping the EOS network very much, and the Pomelo team should support that. So I encourage the way we're doing like here, we can reach consensus as a group to help support each other. So thank you, Patrick and Duane. For...
Dan, I just don't want to be an hypocrite, and I want to say something very clear here. I see this. Well, I will be very short, and okay. Don't be upset. Don't be upset with me in advance. I say already, because I think hidden fractal is a great value into the ecosystem, and what is building here for me, that's governance methods. Let's say social governance methods. I know that you push a lot the name game consensus games since a while. But to be very honest, I have never seen really that as a game. I see that really more as, and that's my opinion.
Okay, Patrick, let's save our personal opinions for afterwards.
I just want to be very clear here, because we have discussed about that. So I know that your grant was not approved, and I want to be really clear. And for Rosmari, I hope that will be the case, that his grant is approved. So
Sounds good. In the future, if you could please raise your hand and then also save it till after I go, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, I see Perry has his hands up too. Perry, I do want to be respectful of his time and start to wrap it up and give my presentation as well as share Rosemary's. But if you'd like to share something first on that note, then feel free to go ahead. What's on your mind, Perry?
Well, it's just a question about Rosemary's grant, so I can wait whenever you like. It's whenever you think is appropriate. It's
No, I
not
think-
not urgent.
Thank you, Perry. I think now makes sense being that Rosemary just presented.
I'm just wondering. I looked at the grant, and I can see that you had previously gained some awards on the last season, I assume. Why? What changed that that they denied you?
I didn't really change the description. I didn't really change anything that was in there previously. I added to it. I just added what the next step, the other episode that I did, and that's really it. I added to it. I didn't really extract from it.
Have you asked them, like, why did you approve me before and not now?
Not exactly that question, but because I received the message, the email, I mean, after I saw that it had the action required written on there, I checked my email and then I saw it wasn't like that clear. And then I also messaged like another team member from Pomelo to ask for more feedback, because the email, it said, here's why you need to edit your grant application to qualify for the everything EOS pool. All funds raised in the grant must directly benefit the EOS ecosystems. That's really it. So I asked for like more clarification, and then they said that this is it. Like, this is the last, basically this is the last paragraph, which is on the screenshot, contains the information I'm looking for. And I didn't really ask more just because the time is almost out. There's not much time.
Moment. Now with the thumbs up and all what we say, they can change their mind. Daniel Keys is not a robot. Okay, so, but I think we should not discuss too much in detail of those details here.
Next time you write the grant, only write
By the way,
applicable to EOS. I've wrote several grants for other projects beside my own, so just keep out the stuff that's not EOS. That should work.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everybody for the feedback and support for Rosemary's grant. Is there anything else you'd like to add there, Rosemary? I know you passed on to me a while ago. I think we can move on to the next topic now, right?
No, that's it. And thanks everyone for your support.
Accept the grant of Rosmari.
That
Quick
means more
comment?
than anything, really. So
I would like to consider which committee on Ike can address this as well, now that it's coming up a couple of times, and I hadn't quite put this together in my head, but it turns out we have some opportunities because we're discussing with them how to best use Trillium in Pomelo. And one way is to do a matching of the existing grants so that those recipients can also get Trillium, which is a great way to expand the use of Trillium to people so that they're, they can come play and use it for various reasons. And another, which, will take a few seasons or, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, would be to create a separate category of sorts, specifically for what would be Trillium rewards, so that people could do specifically things for the metaverse, right? So it's worth having discussions about that. And also many of us would like to send Trillium over to support the existing participants. If anyone knows of any way to do that in a more manual way, it's a bit tricky because it's EOS and Wax, right? So with IBC, maybe we can do that. And I hear IBC is coming very, very soon. So maybe we can address this even next week. But there is a blockchain committee, there is a games committee, there's marketing, like at all sorts of committees could address this. So if anyone wants to have a discussion about it, please hop over to Ike Council and weigh in on which, where we should allocate resources and how.
But
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa. Great point and great way to further support it, and looking forward to discussions. I see Patrick, give your hands raised. Is there something you'd like to share before I go ahead and start to wrap up?
yeah, I just want to say to Lisa, when I was interviewing Daniel Keys for the Pomelo season 6, the different matching pools and the matching partner, the new matching partner telos on this season, there is a telos as a matching partner. And I asked for wax. And Daniel was very clear. He stated, since that Pomelo was started on season 1, they have always had in mind to have different matching pools and different matching partners, not only E and F. So wax is welcome into the pools matching.
Oh, yeah.
Matching partner. Other things, when you have a grant on Pomelo, you can select when you create the grant that you accept donation in EOS into wrapped telos token. Wrapped because it's on EOS. It's not on telos. That's telos token wrapped on EOS.
It's
They are
wrapped in English. Wrap. What Patrick says, it sounds like a rap singer. And what he means is
wrapped.
All right, all. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Noam, for the English. Yeah, I think that was clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be clear, it's up to you when you create the grant to be the most open. But now I say something here and I will do what I say. I will go into the fireside chat this evening. I will ask to Stefan to let me speak. And I will say about Rosmari grant that she has to be approved. And I will even ask to Daniel Keys. I have the balls. I will say that clearly there, because that's not normal that someone that was joining the community EOS at the base layer, it's EOS. And by the way, your grant is on everything EOS, Rosmari. Oh, okay. She has chosen the right pool, by the way, the right pool, the right pool, the everything EOS pool, not the Gamify pool. She has chosen the everything EOS pool, and she has made there is videos. And I think they have not even read all because they have seen the video about Gudasol, and maybe they have think, oh, but she's doing video for Hidden Fractal indeed. So no. They are wrong. I will go there and I will make my voice heard. Let's see what happens. Maybe I will be ejected after 2 minutes by Stefan, but at least I will have the balls and I will say what I mean. But I be very, very short because I don't waste the time of the people.
Sounds great. Thank you, Patrick, for supporting Rosmari, and thank you, Lisa, as well.
No, it's not about supporting Rosmari. It's supporting the grant.
Supporting the grant.
But
okay.
That's Rosmari indeed. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay. So
well,
anyway,
okay.
Thank you for that. Well, one more thing you also mentioned there is too, they did take, I believe, over a week to give Rosmari any response, where they said they should take up to 3 business days. They also took over a week to give me a response too. So something else you could mention if you'd like to. But thank you for sharing that, and Lisa.
Sounds like they need a volunteer structure. Shall we set one up for them? Just kidding.
Well, it seems like they could use some help from.
By the way, when I do my intervention on the fireside chat, if I struggling, Duane, if you are there, you back me. You back me. Noam, you back me, and Dan.
Yeah, back you, Patrick. But anyway,
here's the quote.
We're starting in a half hour, and we're going quite long, so we should probably move on.
Do I have to put my hand up?
Yeah, Noam, if you want to add something here, Lisa, feel free to go ahead.
I will fail if I go there, I think. So back me.
Patrick, here's what you said. We're looking for positive solutions. Just say those words, and you can say anything you want afterwards.
Totally.
Magic of positive solutions. All right, with that note, let's move on. I think we had a lot of comments about this, and really appreciate everybody's support there. And I will start to share my screen and give a little presentation here about.
I am upset.
Well, I hope you won't be upset, Patrick. I think we're doing.
No, I am upset. That's a bullshit. That's not normal. Okay, right. Making the chop.
Anyway, I just muted Patrick there because we got to move on. But thank you, Patrick, for supporting Rosmari and supporting her grant and supporting everybody. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. That's really awesome to see. And I will share my screen a little bit here to show what's going on. For anybody who's very confused about community stories, this is the grant about community stories that Rosmari has, pomelo.io/grant/community. You can learn more and find more, and you can see what she's written about, introducing herself and her aim and vision and mission and so forth. You can see the first episode where she interviewed me. Thanks again so much, Rosmari, for that excellent interview. It's on the Eden Cares YouTube channel. Recommend you watch it. And then the second episode, which you can scroll down below, with Gudasol. I think she's also in the process of still editing it a bit and getting the best thumbnail, but I'm really looking forward to that. Gudasol, he's a great participant in Eden Fractal. He also hosts the aquadac each week, so I'm really looking forward to listening to and watching. He's also a rapper and does all sorts of great stuff, but helping people cooperate with consensus games, among so much more. So thank you very much, Rosmari, for sharing that interview, and looking forward to supporting you there. And there's also edencares.com/aquadac, where I've started to curate some information about Aquarius Academy and aquadac, where you can see Douglas has done an awesome job of promoting and helping people.
Oh, Dan,
and so
what
forth.
you made on this one, you made like this.
All sorts of, yep. That's like the Aquarius like official logo thing that do. So we're having fun with it. It's really fun meeting. Recommend everybody to join Tuesdays at 16 UTC. They go really well, and I really want to support Douglas and Rosmari and everybody there. We have a great time, and we just started the new season where we're connecting with each other. I'll also give a shout out once again to Patrick. Thanks so much for supporting Rosmari in the Fireside chat, as you said, and then also here in the Pomelo chat. Recommend people go to the t.me/pomelo.io to see this. What's up, Patrick? You want to throw something
You
there?
have shared what I have written?
Yes, that is correct.
No.
I'll also go on and share, just once again, thanks for Rosmari. She put out some messages advertising or promoting these pitch sessions as well. So and just thanks again, Rosmari. And Patrick, I don't know why you have any issue with that. You shared in a public chat. I mean, if you really want, I can remove from the video.
Yeah, I have a little concern with that, but I don't want even to say that here, but
okay, perhaps we can talk about it later, but I appreciate you did it,
yeah.
and I think that's a great thing you did, so I don't see any reason why sharing it publicly would be an issue. But anyway, we've been going for a long time. I want to respect everybody's time. One of the things I love about the Alien Worlds Fractal we've been going is we've been doing shorter meetings, and we are at about 3 hours at this meeting, but we've been having some great discussions, so it's cool to go on. But I will start to wrap it up and share my Pomelo grants, as well as just a pitch for public goods in general here. I made three grants on Pomelo this season, and I'm really focused on public goods in general. One of the reasons, actually, perhaps I should open that I was so inspired to start Eden Fractal with y'all is from Fractally. And if you read the Fractally white paper, the first sentence of the abstract, it talks about how this is a system to promote the advancement of public goods and supercharge for the advance of humanity. There's a really great article here. This whole white paper talks about how we can do better by mutually benefiting each other, and how we can create public goods. And there's also an excellent video too. I recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it yet, where Dan Larimer and many of the pioneers in the Fractally team do that. And that's what we've been doing for the past year, helping create public goods and helping each other a lot. On that note, I have 3 Pomelo grants. Pomelo is, of course, a funding platform with EOS. So I have the Eden Town Hall, which I host every other Monday at 17 UTC. And I just kind of posted this pretty quickly. It was just approved a few days ago. I appreciate the support so far in the grants. And yeah, basically, I've been hosting this every other week. It was every week, but I've had to scale down to every other week. And also, I was publishing every video on edentownhall.com/episodes, but I haven't been able to do that for the past 50 weeks or so, or 15 weeks or so. You can see some of the recent ones from 37, which is our 52nd one. We've having great meetings, but I just haven't had the resources to like hire video editing help. I mean, actually, Rosmari's been helping greatly with this, but still haven't got it out yet. So one of the things I'm aiming to do is raise funding from the EOS network to be able to publish all these awesome videos that we have for Eden Town Hall. It's a great community show where everybody can join and share their thoughts. And you can see a little article here about how funding would be very helpful for the Eden Town Hall. There's also some cool video production and stuff like that. So I'd love to raise more funding for this and would really appreciate everybody's support. Secondly, I'll also mention the Fractal Apple. Fractal Apple is a live show. It's about music and fun and public goods. So far, I've done 3 episodes. The last one was with Rosmari. And we played music there, and we also shared fun conversations and educational content to empower communities with public goods in Web3. So you can see a little bit that I wrote here as well. Thanks so much, Rosmari, for co-hosting this with me. I'd love to also open it up with more people too. So perhaps in future episodes, we can have more people coming in, enjoying and sharing music, like Duane playing that Chen Chambiri, whatever instrument that was, and Patrick singing and stuff like that. I'd love to just make this into a live show. I have a long history doing live streams playing music, and I love to combine playing music and making great video content and telling great stories with public goods, promoting what we're doing with Eden Fractal, promoting all the public goods that people have on Pomelo and so forth. So appreciate everybody's support on the Fractal Apple Pomelo grant. This is the first season that I've put this up, and I'm aiming to do this as more of a weekly show. So far, it's just been every quarter basically with the Pomelo season, but I want to start doing it weekly to help promote it and reach mainstream audiences with really fun shows. Also on that note too, you can check out the Eden Cares YouTube channel. You can see, for example, the video that we did last time. We think about doing this again this season. I think we might wait a few weeks, something like that. We did like a really cool intro video. I'd love to cut clips about this and share it more widely too, but some really cool stuff about public goods, also with like a storytelling vibe and stuff like that. And we had some really cool production. So it was a blast doing this, and I'm looking forward to doing much more Fractal Apple episodes and sharing all the good stuff about Pomelo. And your support, everybody's support, would be greatly appreciated to help us make more of these and spread all the love and public goods with everybody. Thanks again so much, Rosmari, and thanks everybody for watching and supporting it so far. And then the last grant I mentioned too is Eden Creators. This is where I focus most of my time, as well as with Eden Fractal. This is a grant to help grow communities with social games, social consensus games. This was not approved this season. I really appreciate everybody's support in previous seasons. You can see here how we create games, shows, and tools to help everyone make the best experiences possible. And I believe that well-designed social games are the key to leveling up communities, societies, and civilizations. So I think everybody here is aware of social games, but there's more details here. My goal is to enable billions of people to enjoy the profound benefits of consensus games and the future of community coordination. I believe this is essential for humanity, and I believe that gaming is the way that we will get there. Unfortunately, well, you can also see the last season update where I had lots of articles, like I read an article about games and Gamify, made improvements to edenfractal.com, and the tools article to show the tools we're doing, the Alien Worlds Fractal, curating resources about different communities using consensus games like Eric's Art Fractal and the aquadac, and some different things I showed before. So there's a whole bunch of great stuff that we're doing here with Eden Creators. And I'd really appreciate your support there. Unfortunately, as I was saying before, and Patrick hinted to or alluded to, this grant was not approved, despite the fact that this can be super helpful. These games can be super helpful for humanity and public goods. The Pomelo team didn't seem to agree with that. In some sense, they said it's not a game. Daniel Keys just pretty bluntly said, it's not a game, sorry, on the Fireside chat. I'm working on a little post here. I haven't had the chance. I've been so busy building and promoting these games, I haven't had a chance to promote the Pomelo pitch yet elsewhere. So I'm planning on doing this later today and just put out this message in many different places. And there's links to some posts where I shared some detailed responses to the Pomelo team. And then also we had a discussion about this at the Fireside chat. Thanks so much, Lisa and Duane and Rosmari and Perry, for supporting the games that we're creating. Really appreciate it. And I think it's really, really helpful to communicate to the EOS community and the Pomelo community and the wider world how these games, like they're really fun and they're games that are really helpful for everybody. And they can also help create public goods too. I'm working on this article for a while about how Eden creates public goods and how the Fractally process uses amazing games to create public goods. So I'm going to be going back and sharing more and promoting why these Eden Fractal consensus games that we have, that I'm working with Eden Creators and the shows that we create. In addition, I'm also creating shows and helping build the tools that enable everybody to cooperate with these games. And they help people make shows and networking, like a few people mentioned, and open source software and inspiring communities, all these different things about how these communities are so helpful. It's unfortunate that this one wasn't approved this week because they didn't think it's games, even though it says it's games everywhere, basically. And I wrote all these articles about games and talking about games, so it honestly befuddles me how they didn't approve this grant or didn't see it as a game. And also, but that's how it is. So we can work together for future seasons. And I do recommend people check out this edencares.com/games article to see some of the inspiration between these games and some of the great books, and as well as all the different consensus games that we're playing. There's a whole bunch of really fun and playful stuff that's super helpful for everybody here, as well as our games like Eden plus Fractal and Cagendas and the video games we create and so forth. So that's that for my Pomelo pitch there. And also just in general, I really appreciate everybody working here together to create public goods together. I did actually pull up a little song too that perhaps I can sign off with too, because there's an artist I love who actually just came out with a new album called like Magical Mystery, Mystical Tour, or something like that. It's kind of a homage to the Beatles, but maybe I'll just briefly just play a little bit of it just to end it on a nice note here. It's Jason Mraz, Look for the Good in Everything. So perhaps, I don't know if you can hear it, but look for the good in everything. Look for the people.
More than
You're
anything.
so free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone.
Look for the good in everyone.
Thank you very much,
Oh
Patrick.
yeah.
My apologies. Thank you for the heart, Lisa, and the claps and thumbs up, Rosmari. Thank you all. That was probably over 3 minutes, but I had a little passion.
You will be accepted on the next season of Pomelo. You will be accepted on the next season on the Pomelo. And maybe Rosmari in a couple of hours will be accepted because she do great things since February. And she deserves some respect. And respect is not about only money. It's also about the time. So
we should get moving on. Thank you, Patrick, for the great rendition. And my apologies for going a bit longer there, but I wanted to just share a bit of thoughts. I see Lisa has her hands up. So I think we can wrap it up as soon as we're ready. I encourage everybody to vote in the Slido poll if you haven't done so already. And please also remember to add your name at the bottom so we know who voted for who. And then by the end of the day today, then I'll figure out the scores in Slido. I'll also screen share there. I don't know if Lisa, you still had any comments. If you do have any comments that you want to wrap it up with, then feel free.
One on Slido. Since I was late and missed some, I don't think I should vote, correct?
It's up to you. I mean, you still can vote. You're still here, and you
It
also
seems like
know.
it disadvantages people I didn't see if I put more weight on people I did see and don't. You know what I
That is
mean?
true. Yeah, it's basically up to you.
Yeah.
If you don't want to vote for
So
that
I'm
reason,
here at the
feel
moment.
free.
I
But
see
also,
Patrick's tweet. That is how I support Rosmari, because unfortunately I missed it. I'll have to see it on the video. The other thing is I'm curious about the impact of not being in the Pomelo grant. If you were to have been supported by the estimated number of people in your community that you think would support you having a Pomelo grant, how many EOS do you think you might have received or a range thereof from the quadratic voting impact if that were to have happened? What do you think I mean, I have a sense of what like EOS Hot Sauce got because he announced it live and that comes to mind frequently. But I'm curious what you think you might have gotten if you'd been able to participate.
okay, thank you for the question. This is addressed to me, right, Lisa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm not totally sure. I do know that the EOS Gamify pool only had, and so, and just to be clear, the reason why it wasn't approved is that I applied for the EOS Gamify pool here, and there's a greater amount of funding in the EOS Gamify pool, and they also only accepted, I think, 13 grants there. The top one received like $15,000-$20,000, and then there's a bunch that received a few $1,000s. So I don't know, maybe somewhere in that range, depending on how many. There's also some that only had a few donations that received like $100, something like that. But the funding was considerably greater for the EOS Gamify pool because there's only 13 applicants there, or 13 approved applicants rather, and also the amount of funding was about 2.5 times more. So
I have to ask you a follow-up question then. Do you think that if you're included in the GameFi pool, that it is a qualification to further GameFi funding by ENF? And if you're not included in that pool, does that mean that you're somehow disqualified from GameFi funding from ENF?
no, I don't think there's any qualification or any like strict rule about that. I think it's up to the people who run both the Pomelo pitches and then, for example, the ENV just launched a $20 million GameFi grant. But I think that's up to the ENV to determine that as however they want for what is GameFi or not. But yeah, I think it's important that we, that I appreciate everybody who helps advocate for social.
Let's ask ENV. Let's ask, you know what I mean? Let's ask them because, like, in other words, how much does it matter? Right? Like, does it matter $10,000 or does it matter $5 million? Right? Potentially, right? The big difference in terms of potential response, in terms of advocacy. So if you think you're heading towards a place where you might really want the ENV support, it might be worth asking them if they're using the Pomelo category as a qualification or a signal for that. And if so, then you might go back and explain to Pomelo in further detail why you think it is, maybe have some data, some evidence, whatever. But if it doesn't matter, then it, maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, that's your decision to make, but it might be more weight if it is a signal to them.
Yep, sounds great. And that's what I'm thinking here too. And it's also not just for the ENV for getting grants from there, but also just in general. I think that these are like the most helpful games in the world and most helpful things. And so like it's good to be able to promote that to the community with the cohesive messages to all sorts of communities around the world. But thank you very much for the feedback, Lisa, and I appreciate your support very much. I see Patrick.
I think that's up to every matching pool to define what are the criteria. So for EVM, for example, you have to build solution on Solidity that are deployed to EOS EVM. That's, for example, that. Then for everything EOS, you have to build tools that are benefiting EOS ecosystem. For Gamify, you have to build games, SDKs that are benefiting the game and the finance. That's the criteria. And then the matching partners like ENF, Telos, they are also defining their criteria. So you have to play their game. That's all about that.
Patrick,
and,
what does it cost to make an SDK? That's interesting.
But okay, I don't speak. I would just
say something here because we are at like 3 hours and over 50 minutes.
It was not finished, but by the way,
let's take a vote. Who wants to end and who wants to continue to talk about how to get Dan supported?
I was continuing on this road. Sorry to break you, Dan, but I was not finished.
Right,
I just want to say something before to wrapping up on my side. I have to go. About the money, in which pool you have to go to receive the more funds. I think on this season 6 of Pomelo, being since season 1 myself, that's ridiculous, the funds that you are receiving. And the market is so low that that's not enough to be a host of shows. That's not for me enough also to continue my Antelope Swiss workshop that I do every 2 months, that I've never been funded, by the way. So I don't do that for the money. And on this season, it's a turning point. It's to see really who are the people interested, the active members, and who are not interested in it. That's like on Eden on EOS. It's to see who is really interested. So here we are, someone like Rosmari that is really interested. She has proven that weeks after weeks. So she deserves. Dan will deserve also, but I think you should have, that's my opinion, chosen another category than Gamify, and I think your grant would be maybe accepted. But you have other grants, by the way, on this season 6, so I encourage everyone to give to this grant, like the Fractal Apple and the other. So, but it's not for the money that I join Pomelo myself, for example. I joined to build my reputation season after season, that the people see that I are building things that are value added. And I think for someone new like Rosmari, she has to prove season after season that she's a fantastic woman, a good woman, and she's doing great job. So that's very shame, no, sad or shame, I don't know, to be approved on the first season, on the last season, and on this one, there is not really something cautious with what she do, with what she does. So I don't know. But at this point, it's not for the money that I joined Pomelo. It's more to continue to build and to have a community of people that are following you and maybe build something together. That's that. That's more that.
Yeah, excellent point, and thank you for that, Patrick. I really appreciate it and agree. So one of the foundational principles of more equal animals and fractally, it's like natural giving. It's like respecting each person's autonomy and able to do so. It's up to the Pomelo team how they want to do. I appreciate your support for my grants, Rosmari's grants, everybody's grants. I also respect the time too. But yeah, great points, and it's all about growing communities and also telling a great story too that we can share. And there's lots of things things that we'll do in the future as we grow together. I will start to wrap it up, or I'll at least give the opportunity if somebody wants to leave. I'm just going to share my screen one last time to just share what's going on.
I put my hat.
Put your hat on. Okay, cool. I'll just be a minute or so just sharing. If anybody has not yet submitted their results on Slido, then please do so.
I have.
This is the last chance. And make sure to, if you haven't yet, I'm going to check the results, but make sure you go to anonymous and change it. And then please hit the submit button at the bottom to send, or rather the send button. And then that, I did actually figure out what was causing the issue before, where you weren't able to see the results, but I can show some of the live results now. So as far as who shared the most beneficial speech, and this will be weighted with the Cignals spreadsheet. So we are going to export it and then run it through a Cignals spreadsheet to see what the votes are that I'll use to donate the 50 EOS that are here. But according to the one person, one vote algorithm, there's Tadas, Duane, Jorge, Eric, Patrick, Rosmari, and then Perry, Dan, myself, Marco, Lisa.
Nice.
Well, but those are the top 6 as of that, but that will be going through the Cignals. And then for the next one, this is one person, one vote. Who shared the most fun speech? It looks like Duane and Patrick kind of ran away with it. So there we go. Just by the way, there is one other thing too, that I don't, these aren't final results because I have to go into the Cignals spreadsheet and we have to go to export it. I'm going through different screens, but what I could do is I go to export this and one. Basically, we're going to export it though, and then when we export it, then we're going to see the final results because we did make it so there's no self-voting and a couple of different things. So we're not totally sure about these, but this is how it's looking so far. And the most fun speeches: Patrick, Duane, Jorge, Perry, Tadas, myself.
Incredible.
And the top 6 I'll be doing to later today. And then how we do it looks like people are doing pretty good. We got majority are feeling happy and feeling like excited, so that's great to see. And then lastly, we can also see what people wrote. This is the first time seeing it too.
Perfect is me. That's the last one.
Here. Okay, perfect. Well, excellent. Incredible people. Good public, good session. Great to hear everybody. And then some very big range of presentations. So thank you so much for the meeting today. Shall we?
You have your guitar. You have your guitar.
I do have my guitar, Salami. Yeah.
I am happy for Coco Heart. I'm being there by you. So by Pat Nova Elton. Okay, let's go.
I don't know what song you're talking about. Do you want to sing a Pat Nova Elton song?
Cold Heart by Elton John.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that one? Okay, no. So Nikita, you don't know?
I don't know Nikita either. I was probably looking at that video that you shared. How about we just wrap it up because we've been going for over 3 hours.
Okay. Spaceman. Okay, we do this one. Okay, Spaceman. Oh, Noam has a galaxy hat.
Oh, there
nice
you go.
One.
You got that.
Okay, I am Pat Nova Bovi. I have to change my name. Sorry. Pat Nova Bowie. Pat Nova Bowie. I am Pat Nova Bowie.
There we go.
I was dead, but I am. That's the return today. And I will sing for you Spaceman. Okay.
Okay.
Also nice hidden fractal today.
Yes.
By Dancing Joy, the best dog in the galaxy.
Everyone here, thank you all for.
Yeah. We will always join. Also, if we have to be sometimes a little bit hard, but we will join for sure. Because you have to be in good company. And we are not sheeps for sure. We are lions. We are the fractal.
Is your lawnmower working?
But the lawnmower is not active right now, so you should be able to hear me much more clearly than last time, I hope.
Oh, darn.
Oh, that's very sad. Okay, so let's go.
Sounds good. I was just looking for the chords, by the way. What is that song called again? It's called Spaceman by David Bowie?
Spaceman. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Starman. It's called Starman.
Starman.
Yeah.
Starman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, Starman.
Yeah, we were singing this at the Alien Rose Fractal. All right. Let's do like one verse of it.
Okay, let's go.
A man waiting in the sky.
He's waiting on the sky, and he's here with us today. That's
a man
in the galaxy. You see this dancing joy. He's in the galaxy. but we are with him to put him on the hurt, and he has to be driven a little bit. Sometimes he's too much in the sky, but we are here today with him to support him. Rosmari, Duane has made a fantastic song before. Yeah, baby, I will join again until I die. For sure I will.
And thank you, Pat Nova Elton, for
No, Pat Nova Bowie.
singing us the songs and
Thank you.
enjoying Eden Fractal.
I agree.
really appreciate you all.
Thank you. Yeah, baby.
Adios.
Adios,
All right.
Duane.
We go 3, 2, 1, go Eden Fractal.
Adios, Duane.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, Eden Fractal, go.
Oh, yeah.
3,
3, 2, 1, and 0. And we have Lisa.
Oh, Eden Fractal.
Right in the head.
Fractal.
Thanks everybody so much. Hope you had a great time, and see you next week.
Somewhere in the galaxy, we have dancing joy with us. Hallelujah. And we have Perry with his beautiful glasses and his beautiful hat. And you have not wrapping up with your beautiful little finger? No? Okay.
Yes,
So,
because I'm not seeing the dictatorial, I'm not seeing that. Yeah.
aha, for this reason, I was never catching up. That was because I was doing so. Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a little Mussolini, a little Hitler for me.
Sorry. Okay. Nice. I am
I'm
happy that we enjoy it, Perry. Huh? That's great, huh? Yeah, perfect. Okay. And Noam is in modus sleeping. No, he's here.
Right.
Okay.
all right. See you all.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
still
for
need
you.
to talk to
That's
Tom
for
about
you,
the
Patrick.
spreadsheet.
No.
Yeah.